As always, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm joined by a fellow duckling, fellow cranky duckling, the savior of esports and hero of the wasteland. Hello, Koopa. Hello. Beautiful.
Hello.
Hello. I was just regaling about the fact that we've actually had some time to actually play the story recently. We've had time to stream Final Fantasy on like a regular basis, at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. So we've been, progressing very slowly. We'll get into it when it comes to what the post patches entailed and what happened in the last stream, because it was
things happened.
decisions were made.
Yes, decisions were made indeed.
No. We'll get into it. For now, though, we do have something a little bit special. So something that I was not aware of. I don't know if you were aware of this previously, but
No.
I didn't know that there were a bunch of short stories for Final Fantasy XIV. I was aware that maybe there were like some novels out there, some books, but apparently there are a bunch of free online short stories that are actually canon that do provide context and
They basically
that do actually give a little bit more flavor to the story.
Yeah, they're like stories of like events that happened that you didn't see, or like basically prequels to some stories as well, like some past but some backstories of some of the characters.
Yeah, for sure. So, and there's quite a lot of it as well, and we wanted to go through some of it at least like maybe one short story at the start of each stream, or maybe like one short story a week sort of thing. There aren't that many, so we'll probably quickly catch up. I think there's like maybe like 6 per expansion or something like that. So there's not too many to get into. But we'll slowly work through them as well, and we'll see how this goes. So we're going to be starting with the first expansion, with the Realm Reborn, with the base game, the quote-unquote base game, and this is of course taking place maybe during or even shortly after the Calamity, which was again spoilers for the first expansion, for the first for Realm Reborn. We'll see how we get into this. Kuro, would you mind voicing Milwib?
No, I will, of course.
Yes. Okay. So we'll get into it. Okay, hold on. Gotta switch our scenes.
Yeah, okay, come sit with me, so we can both be sitting here as we read.
Nah, I'm not. I'm gonna be jumping in circles. What are you talking about?
Okay. My bad. I thought he's gonna sit down.
What are you talking about? No. Hold on.
Okay. Let me try to position it so you can still see Mielikka here. See, I'm prepared. There you go. You can still see her. She's there.
Okay. So our first little short story here. From the beginning, the realm was forever altered by the Calamity and the devastation it wrought over the course of 5 short stories. Key characters will revisit events surrounding that fateful day, offering insight into the Calamity's effect on the lives of many and more. The first tale here, I believe, will focus on Mielikka, which I think is, honestly, before we get into it, I think this is nice just because I would say that Mielikka is probably the least developed of all the leaders.
I mean,
in the story in the base game.
In the base story, I guess so, because I don't know how it looks if you are part of Limsa's like story, so it may be different if you are from Limsa.
Maybe, I would still disagree with that because I would say that Mielikka is the least developed. I would say that Raban is the most developed, and we didn't even start in Ul'dah. Like that has nothing to do with like the starting zone. Like Raban has been developed so much more compared to the seeds here and compared to Mielikka. So I do appreciate that we're getting some insight from her. But this is going to be Tales from the Calamity, where victory and glory lead.
Yeah, again, for those who are in the chat and maybe are afraid of spoilers, this is from Realm Reborn. So, the very first.
Okay, so it's going to be a little bit getting used to, but I'll ask you to voice anything she says.
Yes.
And anything she thinks.
Yes.
Or do you think anything she just says?
No, all the quotes are mine.
Okay. We are lost, thought Mielikka. Blosfin. Immured for eons and free at last, the primal Bahamut laid waste to the Kartinu Flats, burning Adosians and Garleans alike. But I will find a way. Tearing her gaze away from the bloody chum, she bit down gently on her tongue, an old commander's trick. And despite the ash-laden air and voice that issued from her throat was as clear as compass wind.
Belay previous orders. All Maelstrom units are commanded to fall back, effective immediately.
In the distance, the Admiral caught a glimpse of Archon Louisoix's resolute silhouette, arms raised in the rite of summoning. Not even the 12 can help us now, she thought, with something like despair as she swung herself into the saddle. Dalamud has hatched, and no man can unbreak an egg.
Give the foreign levy priority. Let the main host cover the retreat and bring up the rear.
Enzar Slasrin let go the bridle as Merwib took hold of the reins. Merwib. A shard of the false moon had pierced the mail under his right arm, she saw. Blood riled and dark and steady. Her adjutant would likely not survive a hard ride.
Get those adventurers to safety, she repeated. I will say so. I shall send your stragglers. We must regroup. See to it.
At once, Admiral. Enzar snapped a salute. He knows me too well to waste time arguing. Merwib reflected as she urged her faithful bird to a gallop. And he knows most of our runners are dead or near as damn it. A sharp queh brought her back to present. Ah.
Good girl, Vicky.
She murmured as the chocobo sped onward through a blur of death and ruin.
Fall back to the main host.
Merwib called again and again until the route became a stream, then a river, throwing towards Enzar, and she hoped safety. But there was a knot in the crowd, fighting its way against the tide until it emerged at the rear, then pushing on towards the Guardian position. Always, Merwib thought, without rancor, and spurred her chocobo forward. Always there are those who put glory before victory. Save your breath, Admiral. I mean to make those Guardian curs pay, and pay they will. Roswin spat. Merwib was reminded of the old saying, pirates weep with their swords, and their tears are red. So many sirens. Spleen Ebril won't sing no more, nor Annis Blackeye, nor... There you are. You liverless tin-pot bastards. A savage joy blazed in Roswin's eyes as the sight of something behind Merwib and the Maelstrom Commander touched her spur to Victory's left flank as she unholstered her pistols in one smooth motion. Death penalty barked, and the Garlean Legionnaire tumbled backwards. I guess that's the name of her pistol. Didn't know that. 2 sharp cuffs from Annihilator, and more men fell, to reveal the beetle-black gleam of magic armor cresting their eyes. It has a beak, Merwin thought, with strange calm, her legs squeezing Victory's flanks on their own accord. The chocobo sprang as the magic cannon roared. Then Melvin was falling, the world drowning in blood and feathers, and she knew no more.
The most rest you've had in years, I'll wager. I don't know who that is.
Melvin awoke to a familiar sight. Her quarters on the Triumph. And Enzar, his face graven with fatigue, but alive and on his feet.
How long?
She demanded.
Present course and speed?
2 days. Limsa. 8 knots, he answered. The Alliance regrouped in Thanalan, where the alchemist saw to our hurts. They meant to keep you abed in Ul'dah, but I assured them that would not be necessary. We are crossing the Strait of Melthor for home.
The sirens? Roswen?
Enzar laughed. Merwib could almost hear the rust in it. Command, especially the command of a retreating force, was a somber business. The bloody executioners hauled you from the front like pullers with a bulging net, but they had no luck coaxing Captain Roswin to join the retreat. Then came the last of the dread pirate crews. 3. The Draken Arms. The Carvalane swept her up into the saddle like a bloody knight of Ishgard. Last I saw, they were trading curses.
Good.
Melwib willed her eyes to stay open. She was suddenly very tired and could not bring to mind the names of others who had been present. No matter. I would know.
The retreat from Cardinal. I ordered a unit to be given priority. Did you get them to safety?
Einzar looked at her, his brow furrowed. Beg pardon, Admiral. My orders were to bring up the rear as the main host retreated, gathering any stragglers you directed towards us, then began regrouping. You did not order that any be given priority over another. The coming days were too full for Melwob or Einzar to fret over much about her odd lapse. She had taken a blow to her head, after all, and it was a trifle compared to what awaited them in Vilbrand. As the triumph neared home, they saw livid crystals bursting from the Pharoceres, flaunting their corruption for all to see. Gladian Bay was a floating cartoner, the sea strewn with bodies, debris, and hollowed-eyed survivors of the tidal wave that had scored the coastline. Einzar was lucky, Melwob thought. As she surveyed the destruction, what size these shards?
What size these shards to make an eighth hell of this fair anchorage? And what of we who have been spared? How can we go on when so much has been lost? I will find a way.
Melwob ordered that the Maelstrom's temporary command be established at the Morabi dry docks, sheltered from the worst of the great wave by the god's grip. From there, the remains of Limsa great armada sailed with food and supplies, aid and succor, women of strength and men of compassion. Admiral Melwob slept little, but when she did, it was always one of two dreams that she dreamed. In one, she bit down on her tongue, then called out,
Give them priority. Let the main host cover the retreat.
In the other, she rode a destrier in the cool night, the bird crooning contently, and the rider murmuring.
Good girl, Vicky.
Time passed. Some wounds healed, others did not. The fishing boats returned to the sea, and the merchants stowed oars and cut purses to the docks. The new Maelstrom command took shape on the upper decks. The ships of the Armada returned to their proper anchorage, and the Morabi dry docks were recommissioned as a shipyard. During those turbulent days, those who knew Melwob best, and they were not many, remarked that she had been changed by Cartanu. To the scores that came to the Admiral for help, she gave no false comfort, but neither was she as hard as the one she had been. She spoke instead of hope, courage, and the lost warriors who stood with the Archon on the Cotonou Flats. For this, Melwob won the love of her people, yet struggled to accept it. So unsettling did the thought seem to her that one night, unable to sleep, she wandered the city, finding herself at length outside an Ishgardian stable, as young birds murmured drowsily within. When Naldik and Vimilis began to work on the first of the fellow Socrates' new warships, there was no question as to whom the honor of naming it would go. One fine day, soon after, half the city turned out to see the Victory's keel laid. When the Admiral of Limsa inscribed her name upon the oak with a great flourish, the cheers rolled like thunder across the tranquil waters of Galadian Bay, and set the gulls and ravens flapping from every mast. She named the ship after a Chocobo.
She did.
It's very cute that her Chocobo's name was Victory.
And she called it Vicky.
She called her Vicky. Yeah,
that is cute. Yeah, so there you go. A short story about Melwob.
Yeah, it's nice, as we just mentioned, just because I would say that she's been given the least amount of attention throughout the entire story so far. So there's very little that we know about her personality even, or like how she runs things. I think this does a decent job at putting into context the kind of person she is and the kind of leader that she is as well. Which is nice.
I mean, it seems like a proper general, to put it that way.
Yeah.
But I guess not
She's meant
like she's not like one of those, stand over the hill and watch things happen kind of person, but like she seems to be like right in the action and like actively like, going to people.
Well, this is just that. It also helps put things into context as to like what happened after the cutscene, right? Like,
Yeah.
you get the idea that she got survivors to safety with her ships, right? Like maybe there was some land retreat, maybe we'll get some context of that later. But like here, it sounds like it wasn't just that she got her and people out, but like she got everyone that she could out, like via the ships with her fleet, which makes sense.
Also, I have to say, there's something very cute about one part of this story that I don't know if you noticed.
Which one? Which part?
Because I was not sure about the names, so that's why I didn't jump in. But Captain Rosewen, I'm pretty sure is the female pirate with the sirens, and she was swept by Cavalain, the guy she's trying to hit on, and he took her away from the battle on his own steed. That's just so.
Yeah.
That's such a cherry on top that they put that in there. Because like that's for those who know, they know, you know.
Yeah. It's nice.
It's cute.
Well, that's nice. But yeah, there's like there's a bunch of these little short stories. We'll probably just start each stream, or again like once a week. We'll start with the tale.
Yeah.
Before delving into the story. It's gonna take us a little bit to catch up with current events, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
I mean, we have time.
Yeah. But yeah, I think these little short stories are a really good way to again like give a little bit of attention to characters that otherwise didn't get much attention. It's nice. Speaking of characters not getting much attention, Goppa, what happened last stream?
Who? What? What characters?
What happened last stream? What happened last stream? What happened in the story?
You mean when Rauban appeared and then he was like, okay, cool, I'm done, and he left? Or are you talking about Fordola, who was like just a different person now?
So for those who weren't here, last session we continued the MSQ, we continued the Stormblood story, and it was a pretty pivotal stream, I would say. It was a pretty pivotal moment when it came to the story. Just because I think we mentioned at the time, like there was a lot of different directions that the story could have been taken. I think I even said it to the stream. I think we were deafening to each other at the time. But I think I said to the stream, it was I think it was just before Raban's speech that like this is going to be like a really important moment to see how they treat their characters. And the story it didn't start too poorly, of course. Those who are curious, we had lists. There's apparently like a bunch of rioting and a bunch of discontent amongst the people because Fordola was taken captive, of course, and they want to see her killed. Like they want to see her hanged. They want to see her like pay for what she did, because they were calling her a traitor, and they've been calling her a traitor the entire expansion.
Yes.
Because obviously she was working.
Yeah,
because she was working
for the Galleons.
Yeah, she was working for the Imperials, working for the Galleons. I was like, okay, that's fine. And originally, and they even emphasized it during the cutscene as well later. But the whole point of capturing her was so that ideally you could show her another way of doing things, right? Like,
yeah.
And this has been done in stories before. The idea of someone having to like kind of like bite their tongue and like accept things as how they are and try to work within the system to like better their people when they're being subjugated, right? Like this has been done in stories in the past, and it makes sense to do it here as well. But they didn't do that.
Yeah, and that was actually something specifically that Liz said, that like she didn't kill her because she wanted her to watch things happen. She wanted her to watch Liz free the people. Yeah. So, but yeah, instead what they did was that she, because she has the echo now, she like apparently it's like constantly on, like it's something it's not even she doesn't control it, but like compared to like us where we just get sudden visions, like she apparently sees everything constantly, so like she's constantly connecting with people, and for some reason she connected with us.
Yeah, I would say that isn't necessarily as important. So
or do you mean the backstory?
As we're setting the stage here, so again, we have like why we have Fordola imprisoned. We have people upset about that, of course. Then we kind of stepped into the moment when Raoban stepped in, and it was a really nice speech. Like, he had a really empowering speech. Before that, Liz was trying to calm the people, but she couldn't like empathize, or she couldn't relate to them. She couldn't like speak to them, and Raoban kind of stepped in. And one of the reasons why we spoke about how this was a really important story-wise was because, once again, this would be another big moment for Liz to have a character development moment. For her to start seeing things a little bit differently, for her to maybe take some cues from Raoban into how it is to relate to her people and speak to her people and be a leader, right? Like, that's what we were hoping for. And they teased it. And I would say it was just done really poorly, because it feels like they're very self-referential. Like, they're very much so. They keep even saying themselves. Like, they keep making Lisa even say herself. Like, she's like, I'm not a leader. Like, Raoban, like, he did such a great job, like, speaking to them. Like, I can learn a lot from him.
Yeah, she did say there's so much I can learn from him.
Yeah. I can learn so much. And then she like walks away.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what's happening.
And Raoban is like, well, I'm busy, and he also just leaves.
Well, to the point where it's like, I would just say it's bad writing at this point, because it's like you could argue like, oh, isn't it cute that the writers even know that she's unfit for the job, and that she's like even saying herself that like she could learn stuff from Raoban. It's like, well, I mean, why don't you just do it? Why don't you just write it so that she does learn from him? Why don't you just make that happen?
Yeah, we literally had Raoban behind the door, and she's standing in front of the door. It's like, it's such a shame that I can't learn more from him. It's like he's right there.
So also, once again, the writers are making the decision to have her be a little bit more aloof.
Also, I would also argue that like even that excuse is completely made up, because where Raoban is right now, what Raoban is doing right now, he's leading like an investigation force, like in the research facility. But he's no scientist. He's no investigator. Like, there's no point for Raoban to be part of this. Like, he can like, have someone else do that while he's doing other things.
Yeah.
Like, he's not gonna help with a scientific investigation,
Yeah. So they can use his character in a different way, and it wouldn't take away from like what his character is currently doing in the story. So they keep choosing to like just not have character development for Liz, and they've done that the entire expansion. They still continue to do that. I imagine she will get. I imagine she will get it eventually, but it's we're kind of like running out of time. Like we're like, it's getting to the point where it's just getting frustrating. It's like we're already done with the MSQ. Like we're done with the base story. We're now in the post patch. Like, get on with it. Like, what's happening here? But that's something that they're deciding to do here. The other thing that they did, which was really surprising and shocking to me, and I think to you as well, was that we got backstory from Fordola.
Yes.
And we find out that they weren't calling her a traitor because she was working for the Garleans.
Yes.
Apparently, they made it, and I would say this is like kind of like a retcon. Technically, it isn't a retcon, but
yeah,
I would say it's something.
But it's very different than what we were led to believe before.
Yes. So technically, it isn't a retcon. I would say it is a decision that was made after the main story was written. It feels like this was because this is the post patch, right? So this is like after the fact they decided to change what her backstory is, because you were never given a hint that she resented her people. We never had that. We never had that thought. We never had a glimpse of that because that didn't exist.
We never knew that she was a highborn either.
Yeah, well, because again, that didn't exist, right? Because before that, the impression we got was a correct impression, which was that she was one of her people, that she was alongside them, that she was caring about them, and then she chose to like turn her back on them, which is why they called her the traitor. Like, that was the original plan, which is why I say it's like a borderline retcon, because it very much so feels like this is a decision writing wise made after the fact.
Like, she didn't have to be like super like integrated with the people, to put it that way, but like she was like one of the nation, one of the people living there, and then when the whole like invasion happened, like she was part of the people who decided that this is the better way to go about things. Like, you don't have to make her like very integral to the community itself, but just be like one of the people who decided that this is like the safer way to do things, to put it that way.
Exactly. And then they decided here in the post patch to change that perspective, to change that approach, and to change her character. And suddenly, now she was actually always called a traitor from when she was a child.
From when she was born. Literally
when she
from
was
when she was born.
Essentially. And they went to the extreme of that, and she was stoned to death. As in, like, the people...
We're about to stone her to death, yeah.
No, they had full intention of stoning her to death. The only reason they didn't stone her to death is because they stoned her dad to death.
Yeah.
Like that's what happened. Is that they were stoning her to death. Her dad stepped in, protected her, and then her dad died straight up.
Yeah.
Like they just killed him in the street.
And as we mentioned,
and he died covering her body, protecting her.
Yeah.
And it's
and as we mentioned at the time, like her dad dying at that point, like completely removes her motivation to help the people.
Yes. Exactly. Because of that, then suddenly, I guess she was just hated from birth, and she was hated by her people. And now the problem with that decision is that means that the character has less depth. Mm-hmm. That means that it wasn't a hard decision to turn her back on her people, because she never cared about them, because she always hated them, right? So that just makes it an easy decision, and that suddenly makes her a less interesting character, because then it's like, okay, like now it's not difficult to kill your own people. Now it's not difficult to work for the Guardians, because like the Alamigan people killed her dad and almost killed her.
Like we mentioned, that you could even keep like that scene itself, but just like not kill her dad at the end, and like continue that story where, like, even though all these events are like really traumatic events are happening, her dad is still like, no, it's fine, they just don't understand, you can help them. And then that like gives her motivation, because her dad believed it despite what was happening. But if her dad just dies right there and then, like, that, where is that motivation from?
Yeah, they actually just decided to write a worse character instead, which is why it was shocking to me. It's a crazy decision to just make a character worse, and to make a character more shallow, which is what they did. Like, she's just now more shallow. To also remind me,
it's not that like she believed in what her dad said, because she herself said that people who did this will pay for it.
Yeah. And they even showed like her with her recruits and with her
that's what I mean. That's
like very much so. Yeah. The scene was that like she like hates Alamegans, and she doesn't give a fuck about them, and she's just gonna go with the Garleans just cause for now, just to like improve her status and stature. Like, she doesn't care about them either, because she also said that she wants to kill the Garleans, because for whatever reason she said that because they
like
looked by.
a tool for the hair, basically.
No. If you remember, she said that because they stood by and watched, like, she hates them just as much.
Yeah.
Because she also blames them for the death of her father. So like they just ruined the motivation for the character, and they made that decision after the fact as well, which is just crazy.
Because I agree,
so now we have less empathy for $4.
Yeah, because I agree, she would be a more interesting character if she was just one of the people, and she decided like that's like her way of doing things, that like she's gonna do it for like the better of the entire nation. But yeah.
Now they just made her more selfish and just less empathetic, and it's crazy. It's crazy that they just decided to write that.
Yeah, I feel like the saddest part is not even so much that they did it, but just that it does seem like an afterthought. They're like, they wrote the story for the main MSQ, and then it came to this, and like, okay, so what do you do? And they decided to go in this direction despite what happened.
Well, the outcome of writing her in this way, like what this means, like meta-wise, is now it's easier to get rid of this character. Like before, like there was maybe a reason to have that character be persistent, to have her stick around, to maybe even try to bring her into the fold and like actually make her be a part of like the overall story. But now there's less reason for that. Now there's a higher chance that they just get rid of her, right? Just because now she's less redeemable. Like now there's less reason to keep her around, because like what's it's crazy. They just in one fell swoop, in one cutscene, they just took everything away from $4. It's like, okay.
But I think what they gonna play at, either they will just execute her and that will be it, or they will try to redeem her, but not in the sense of her like decisions, but more like, oh, you were like this because you were, you know, broken as a child, and like, you know, it's because of all the trauma that you suffered when you were young, and that's why you turned out this way. That's maybe how they play it.
Maybe.
Which is also not ideal, because again, she had a better story there.
Yeah.
Like she was
So
was one of the very few things we liked about the main MSQ.
Yeah, unironically, like she was, and now they just took everything away from her. Now you know, Xenos is dead, so there's no dynamic there. And now they've ruined her motivation to actually care about the Alamegan people, so there's nothing there either. Like they just they just go to everything. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Another like kind of meta conversation as well. Fun fact, right after that, I was thinking.
I was gonna go to.
Yeah, I was thinking about the characters in the story, and I think this room is a good example of the issue that I have. Is I was thinking like, I was actually thinking this for a while. I was like, there are so many like husbandos like in Final Fantasy 14, right? As Kata would put it.
Yes.
Where there are so many like
I mean, I wouldn't call Alfie
and,
a
like,
husband. It's a bit too young.
No, but there's so many likable and like and understandable like male characters that you can get behind,
Yes.
right? Like whether it's I
was very intentional about this room. That's actually a good example.
Yeah. Like Alphinaud's more of like a little brother. But like you have
Yes.
Hatia here, you have like the Lord Commander of Ishgard.
I
I would say even Hien. Like Hien's not, like I don't think you can like dislike Hien necessarily. There are better things they could have done with his character. But like
He's okay.
when Hien's fine, yeah, he's fine.
I mean,
like,
no, sorry. Hien did use that one tribe as a tool, and I will not forgive him for that because he said it to their face.
I agree. They could have done better with Hien. He's one of the weaker
Like
characters.
he like the way they portray him he seems to be nice, but some things he did were very questionable.
Yeah. Again, they could have done better with the character. Harshaphons, Rauban was another example as well. Like there's a lot of like good characters like that. For female characters, there's I was trying to think of it. I don't think there's almost any good female characters. There's Alisaie. There's Alisaie and Yugiri, but like they needed more. Like as we mentioned, like they refused to give them any kind of like space in Stormblood. So they just refused. They refused to give them like anything. Istola, I feel like she's also been in the infirmary and she was like, you know, naked in the live stream for a long time. Like we don't really spend a lot of time with Istola.
We did in Heaven's Ward,
I think she might be. I think she's probably the best example. This is also why I was thinking of like Fordola before this change. Like she was one of the more interesting female characters. Obviously the leader of like the tribe, the tribes in Azim Steppe. Like she's like a little bit more interesting. Yeah, but like the bar is so low. Like the bar is insanely low because there's no one else. Like what are you going to? What the seats here? What Mirwib? I mentioned earlier that Mirwib we barely spent any time with her. Like they just refuse to give them like any screen time. It's crazy.
Yeah, because they gave us Liz. Liz is supposed to be your #1 character. Remember, you're supposed to like her and want to take care of her.
Liz is actually the worst character.
Yeah, I
So,
know,
like,
but I'm saying that the way the story is presented, you're supposed to be like you're supposed to like Liz.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like there is zero waifu material in Final Fantasy 14. It's just not there. It's all about the husbandos. It's all about the
Look, I'm not
would-be
complaining.
the would-be male characters. Unironically, like that's it. Like there's just no good female characters in this game. It's crazy.
I mean, again, like I would argue that someone like Ishtola is a good one, but I agree that like we don't spend as much time with them to actually like develop
that's
them.
what I was saying. Like I like Alisaie, I like Ishtola, I like Yugiri. To give them more screen time. like develop the characters. Like what else is going on? Nah, they're all in the infirmary. Kryl, half the expansion, she's just in the infirmary. I don't like Kryl as a character, but she's fucking hospitalized, right?
I mean, hey, maybe we'll get some interesting story with Kryl in Eureka. Because she is part of Eureka. Maybe there will be some story there.
Some salt copium right there.
I mean, it is copium, but I'm just saying it's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I have,
But yes,
I have no hopes for that because I don't think she's a well-written character to begin with. But sure.
But I did, like, when I was putting this room together, I did, like, put the portraits of the characters we liked the most throughout the expansions.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, yeah. It's crazy.
Arguably, we could probably get Estinian here as well.
Yeah. I'd agree. I think Estinian's deserving to be here. Like, I'm thinking, like, who was interesting? You know who was interesting? Lady Iceheart. She was interesting. They killed her off.
Isaiah was pretty interesting.
They killed her
Actually,
off.
Isaiah actually had a really good story because she had, like, a whole arc of, like, her going to, like, Lita rebel, I'm gonna destroy you, to her, Lita is stopping her people from fighting.
Yeah,
like, she had a full arc.
She did have a proper character arc, and then they killed her.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
Anyway,
the
it's
story.
been half an hour, and we're still here. Hey, what's the plan for today?
MSQ. It's MSQ.
Because we also have ninja, if you want.
Yeah, we'll do some MSQ today. But yeah, I also found it interesting that they did give Raban as much attention as he got. Like he's gotten a proper character arc as well.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, would you want Rauban here?
Where?
In our trophy room? I don't know what to call it.
Maybe.
Memory room?
I don't know if there's space, but sure.
I mean, we have space for like 2 more portraits, I would say. Maybe 3.
But yeah, it's a little bit odd that they've given Raban so much screen time. And they've developed him well. I would hope that they do something similar with the Seed Seer and with Merwood in the future. It'd be kind of weird if they don't. Come to me.
Yeah, somebody teleported without me. Are you serious, game? Yeah. I'll be there soon.
Why didn't you just teleport to the crystal that's right next to me?
I clicked teleport to the nearby Aetherite as I saw that you were
that's your
circling.
problem.
And it teleported me to the logs instead of the Aetherite you literally standing next to.
You could have just teleported here manually, but okay.
Where is it? Because if you teleport to friendlies, it doesn't cost anything. Yeah. Where are we going?
To the quest.
So where did we leave off? I remember Liz was supposed to go somewhere. I don't remember where.
I think we literally just. I was gonna say we just had the confrontation with Fordola, but no. Remember we went to the.
Yeah, we went to.
We went to the area where
Yeah.
they had the experimentations. They had all the dead bodies, and we found out that they were like extracting echo from Kryl, and they were able to inject it, of course, into Fordola.
They were extracting the echo from everyone, and they're doing something to Kryl. We're not sure if it was extraction. No, sorry. It was no. What they did was they extracted the energy from the people, but for Kryl specifically, they copied her echo. Not like extracted in the sense of like extracting energy, but like they copied like its structure, signature, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, energy is not the correct word. I kept saying ether. They extracted ether out of the people. Yeah.
Yeah, but like they did something else to Kryl.
No, if you remember, they were monitoring her echo. if you recall.
No, because we found out that they copied like the abilities of Kral onto Fordola, which is why she keeps seeing the visions, because Kral has a different kind of
Yeah,
echo
that's what
than
he
we
said.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said. Anyways.
I know I could learn so much from Rauban if he decided to stay, but it's his choice, and I'm not about to try to persuade him. Ul'dah is him too.
Arnavald. In case you're wondering, I'm not planning on staying in Alamigo. Too many bad memories, and besides, I like my new life. No one wants to stay. Sultana's strings. Alphinaud's thoughts appear to have turned from adventurer to administration. Well, the question of how to put the Mad King's treasures to good use shows no sign of answering itself. Shall we be about it, Arnavald? I'm at your beck and call.
And I should be getting back to my own tasks. I'll organize a squad to head down into the ruins and then start preparing for the big meeting. Oh, send Nanamo my regards, Mielikka.
And ours too, if you please. We shall see you on your return.
Sure, because we
And
were
I'm always-
invited by the Sultana. That's what happened.
We were? What
Yes,
for?
that's what happened. Pippin came to us to invite us.
Do you know what it's about, or no?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. Are they going to try to force Raban to go to Alamigo? Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, so Sultana will be like, no, it's okay, Rauban, you can go to Alamigo. And he's gonna be like, no, but I'm here. No, you can go to Alamigo.
That's what it sounds like. Speaking to Bartholomew. This might be a cutscene.
I have to hold on. Hold on, I'm running.
Huh.
I have longer loading times, okay?
Yeah. You are expected, my lord. Please proceed. Do we get voice acting?
I thank you for answering my summons in these most interesting times. You have been busy. The liberation of Alamigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel. I speak of Rauban and his future. All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Ul'dah home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Alamigo. And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss. Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Alamigo and retaking his place at my side. I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend. But I have known the man a long time, and beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt. Whether Rauban chooses to remain in Ul'dah or return to Alamigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret. Yet, how can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him? It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears. Might I have your company for a brief adventure? Wonderful. Allow me a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
Slight.
Nah.
You missed your female characters. How about the Sultana?
Aha. The Sultana, yes. What about the Sultana?
Yeah, isn't she your favorite female character?
I mean, there's worse. I like her more than Liz.
True.
I mean, that's...
Actually true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a high
So,
bar.
So obviously, like, we knew what this conversation was going to be about. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
we'll see what...
Right?
I will
because
just
obviously...
say... I would just say that every time Sultana tries to get involved, it doesn't end well. That's all I will say.
And she literally died. Like,
Yeah,
she died.
she literally
Like, straight up.
died.
Like, she should be dead. Like, they just retconned that. But yes, she literally died. Then they had to retcon it and change it so that she lives. For Sultana, there's two ways they could have written this. They could have done what they're doing here, or they could have... This quest could have been us talking to Raban.
Yes.
And him just being open with us and talking about his own inner turmoil and his own thought process. And we could have seen this from his perspective instead. And I think it would have been better from his perspective.
See, what I thought that's gonna happen, because of all the setup that we got so far, what I thought was gonna happen when she was like, yeah, like, you know, he said that he wants to stay, but I see doubt in him and stuff, would be that we would go to Rauban and we would, like, you know, hang out with Rauban for a while, and he would be like, you know, we would find out that it's like, you know, like, I would like to stay in that, but, you know, Alamigo and stuff, and Liz, like, you know, she's trying her best, but we know that she's not ready, and that's when you get Liz to actually be mentored by Rauban so he can stay on Lula. I thought that's the direction it's going to, but instead it's Sultana going on an adventure.
Well, I would say it would have been one of two things. It would have been either, because from his perspective, from him it would be him talking about how, like, you know, he wants to be here for his people. He wants to help them in this kind of, like, really dire, you know, position, right? Because they've just been, like, downtrodden and subjugated, and they've lost everything, right? And they have to rebuild. It's not going to be easy, and you can see, like, all the tensions and everything, and you know, he's a man of the people. But of course, the reality is that if he leaves here, canonically, the Sultana should die. like in my mind, without Raban's the one
She
thing
gets
keeping her
stabbed,
alive.
like,
here.
the next day.
unironically, I feel like he's like the way that they portrayed their relationship and what's happened here, and especially what happened at the end of Rome Reborn with her being poisoned and everything. But you get the feeling that like literally the only reason why she's here is because
of Roban. Because
of
Roban is looking out for her.
Because well, she doesn't even lead the people. Remember, like they keep expressing this. Sultana, she's mainly like a face, and the syndicate, like they really rule like in her stead, and they make all the decisions. And La Sultana has like almost no power, right? So you get the idea that like the only reason why she's even here and why she's alive is because of Roban. Not saying that Roban can make like good political decisions, but like it's his presence that can keep her safe. And
because
like,
because he has that presence,
well.
so he can still have like some influence on what is happening. Like
yeah, and he still leads the Immortal Flames as well, right?
Yeah.
Like he is the leader of the Immortal Flames. Like he's the leader of like the military here. So like she has his military support. If she loses her military leader, like what's like this?
Gone.
Like what's gonna happen? Yeah, exactly. So what I would want to see is Raban making that hard decision. It is a hard decision to make. I kind of want him to stay here in Ul'dah.
Yes,
like you can do
I
one
agree.
of two things. Either he stays in Ul'dah and then he sends Pippin to like to be like I actually like the idea of Pippin going to Alamigo instead, because remember, I don't like what she just said, by the way, where she's like, oh, you know, Raban, sure, he's here. This isn't his home. It's like, what? Like,
Yeah,
she had a really
not
weird
true.
line, which gave the impression that, like, hey, he's like
I
an
mean,
immigrant.
she
and
did
he's
say
like,
homeland,
he doesn't
but
belong here.
Still,
Yeah.
like
It
I'm
was
pretty
really-
sure at
it was-
this point he is pretty at home here.
Yeah, he is old on, 100%.
The fact that Pippin is even a thing also kind of proves it, because he adopted him.
Exactly. I was gonna say that's why I like the idea, because you get the impression that Ul'dah's like, this is where all the falafels are, right? This is where all that's why Pippin is a falafel as well, right? Like because this is where they come from. So I like the idea
Well, some of them, anyway.
yeah. I like the idea of Pippin going to Alamigo and Raban staying here. Like the idea that they're both kind of, I wouldn't say they're wards, but like the idea of like, you know, one from Ul'dah and one from Alamigo, like kind of like being in the opposite land, but like to help with relations and also to help the people as well. Like
The thing is-
I can't, and to maybe like express them or to show them off to like a different culture as well. Like I kind of like that
The
idea.
thing is, I
if
don't
Pippin was
think
to go there.
Pippin is a good like political leader, to put it that way. Like he's like a warrior, and maybe he is like good, like, you know, military leader, but I don't think he would be able to like lead a country.
Well, you'd have to build that up there. Like
Yeah.
that's what you have to do, because you say that. That's also because we don't really know much about Pippin.
Yeah,
Like
we
our
don't.
our exposure to Pippin has been very minimal. So they could have like a couple of quests here just to flesh out that maybe he is a little bit more like.
I mean,
politically
maybe
inclined.
Rauban has been teaching him what he knows.
Yeah, maybe he has leadership skills that we don't know about. And they can just write that in, because they haven't really shown us much of him. So they can just make that happen if they wanted to, like writing wise. Like there's nothing stopping them from doing that. So I like the idea of them organizing themselves to both be able to help Alamigo and Ul'dah as well. I don't like the idea of Sultana walking the streets and trying to like understand her people for the first time, question mark. Like she's meant to be the
what the
leader, and
heck?
apparently she just doesn't. And she's doing this for the first time. She's like, you know what, I need to see who
mean,
I'm leading
It's not
for the
it's not
first
like
time in 25 years.
it's not
like, what?
surprising, because she is like that, you know, the portrayal of like this removed royalty, where like she spent her entire life in the palace, essentially, kind of thing. I mean, that's not even true, because we know that she sneaks out, but that's like the portrayal of her as a royalty, kinda.
I mean, you'd think that she would have done that after she got poisoned and after she died. Like, the idea that she's disconnected from her people has been here from the beginning. Like, what, now you decide to connect? But I wouldn't like the idea of her making the decision to be alone and
I don't
to
think
be a
it's
leader
good.
by herself, because she can do that and they can write it so that she can do it. But like, to me, like story-wise, that doesn't make any sense, because as I mentioned, like I feel like if she does that, she should die.
Yeah,
And
like
if she doesn't die, then that's just bad writing. Like that, like as in, like that's like immersion breaking to me. Like you need to convince me that she's gonna be safe.
Yeah,
here.
because I mean, time and
that
again,
woman.
it was said to us that like, oh, like Sultana, she's like, what's the word? Not hopeless. There's another word, but like, there's nothing she can
Sheltered?
do. No, not sheltered. Like just the fact that like there's nothing she can do. Like her hands are tied constantly. Like
She's like a puppet leader. Like she's
yeah, like every time we had to deal with something in Ul'dah, they were like, yeah, no, Sultana can't do anything about it. She's like kind of there, but like there's nothing she can do.
Yeah. They keep expressing that she has. They keep emphasizing that she has 0 political power. Like
Yeah.
that's what they just keep
Like
emphasizing.
she like makes speeches for people, and like she's like, you know, the PR person, but like she doesn't have like actual power over the country.
Well, this is also why we mentioned that, like, what she does have is Raban, and what is Raban? He has the military power.
Yeah,
of
Raban
Ul'dah.
is power.
and so in some way she does have power with Raban here, but that's why, like, if they remove Raban, then she has nothing. So
Like,
that's why I'm
I
saying
think-
that in this quest line, if they decide to have her be here by herself, then they need to convince us that she has some kind of power here.
I
by
think
herself.
that will be very difficult to do after what we've already been witnessing. And I think, like, to your Pippin idea, I think what I can see them doing is putting Pippin in charge of Ul'dah instead of Raban.
Yeah, I mean, we can see him, like, he just appoints Pippin as the leader of the Immortal
Yeah.
Flames, right? Like he's gonna be the leader of the Immortal Flames. But like I don't like that because then it's 2 falafels here. Then they're getting rid of like the elbow parrot.
Yeah, I do really like the shoulder parrot. I know.
Like, what's she gonna do? Like, just the next time we see Pippin, she's gonna be on his shoulders. That's what's
Yes!
gonna happen.
Oh my
It
God,
doesn't
that's
fit.
so
Doesn't make
silly.
any sense.
Oh my god, that's so silly. I love it. Yes, that's exactly.
But I don't trust them with that because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like they'd be very tempted to maybe even do like some kind of romance between like Pippin and the Sultana.
No.
That's
Why?
rife for that kind of shit.
No, there's no romance. Like, come on. But I feel like more what they would do is they would put Pippin in charge, and Raban would leave, and like, you know, Raban has all this faith in him, and then Pippin would struggle, and they would like make Raban question his decision.
Nah, I don't want him to struggle.
Yeah, but I'm saying that that's possible. That like maybe a direction we go
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. Hello, Salto. Hello. Let's go speak to Sultana.
That was so cool. We definitely didn't run for half an hour. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Nah,
fine.
rewind. Listen.
We did read the first of the tales though on the very beginning of the stream. If you want to see.
We
that.
did. We read the Tales of the Calamity, which was very good. It's very insightful. It's nice.
Tales of Merwib.
It's a little bit sad as well because I think the impression as well is that Vicky's dead.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Vicky was
A little bit
shot.
sad. Yeah.
Wait, where are
Like
we
she
going?
said herself that she didn't think that it would get through. We're going to the area outside the sands, the falling sands.
Why don't I see it on my thingy? The quicksand is the name, by the way.
Yes, whatever. Well, so the falling sands is where the
Minfilia.
the 12 signs of the seventh dawn used to be.
The Waking Sands.
Yeah, you know, whatever.
Pray
Oh,
return
yes.
to Waking Sands.
Ha.
Perchance you remember Lilia, the merchant's daughter? This is the persona I assume when I venture beyond the palace walls to observe my subjects unnoticed. Ordinarily, Papashan would accompany me, but for this particular outing, I need an advisor, not a minder. And that is why I requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you have met people from all walks of life, in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of your worldly experience. Now, let us be on our way. Our first destination is Songstrop, just beyond the Gate of Nod. Green apple energy drink. That's interesting.
Ah,
I don't think I've had green apple energy drink. I mean, I barely
yeah, that sounds
drink
crazy.
energy drinks.
Yeah. BRB. I'm going to give the bunnies their buckets.
Okay, it's bucket time.
I mean, we've already been streaming for an hour, We've
Sure.
done.
I mean, most
half
of
the
it was
quest.
talking. Most of it was ranting, so you know.
Yeah, it's our stream. Should be epic.
Definitely not mimicking. Yeah, chat. How are you? The bunnies will be getting their bucket. The bunnies really like to eat hay from the pink ball. It all started by accident, but they really like it for some reason. How Quacken was looking at the thingies, at the hornets. But yeah, on the beginning of the stream, if you missed it, we did start reading the Tales of Calamity. Because every expansion has a few short stories. And we decided to start reading them all, so more people can find out about them. Because they're like kind of like backstories or like additional stories kind of thing. And we will try to read one like maybe every stream or maybe every other stream. So we can catch up.
Yeah, we'll catch up.
Come back.
Do I know what happened?
What happened?
I stepped into the room, announced myself. It's like, hello, Chi-Chi. I stepped closer, and then she turned her head. She's like, and
She just freaked out, yeah.
She freaked the fuck out. She did the Looney Tune thing where she was like running in place for like 2 seconds, and then she like bolted across the room. And then she turned around. And she was like, "Oh, it's just you." And then she like slowly hopped over.
So I guess Chi-Chi, I keep saying that Chi-Chi is afraid of nothing except teleporting humans. For some reason, she just cannot keep track of humans. They keep teleporting.
Yes. Chi-Chi has the worst spatial awareness.
Yes.
And even if you announce yourself coming into a room, she will not notice you.
No.
She just completely ignores it. And then when she sees you, she's like,
Those damn
freaks out.
humans, they always teleport.
Uh-huh.
And it's not that she's deaf, because some viewers, she's not deaf, because when she wants to, she hears things very well.
Yeah. God damn it, Chi-Chi. She's okay. They're having their hay. Okay.
You hid Nanamo under your chocobo. Look upon this procession of tattered tents. These refugees camp in squalor, at the mercy of the elements in Talan's predators both. The city's mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is. And unless blessed by the hand of Nald himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford that dwelling in Ul'dah. 20 years have passed since the fall of Alamigo, and 5 since the calamity. Yet the plight of the poor has grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me. Your hands have been tied. That is true. Your hands have been tied.
I would say 2. 2 is the correct answer here.
Yeah, your hands have been tied. Like, you're not the one in charge.
Sure.
Yes, my authority is limited. And that is an obstacle I must work to overcome. Shall we press on? I would follow the road to the unholy hair.
Air.
Hey. No, it's good. There's an H there.
There is a H there.
English? Why is there an H?
Hello, Soko. Hello.
Oh, fiery. So I think you kept
giant.
your serpent too long in the sun. It's frying. here. It was here, in this wholly unremarkable place, that my mother and father met their doom. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interest in Eastern Tanalan when an untimely rockslide crashed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simple misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Rauban once offered to reopen the investigation, bring me the truth he assumed I must surely crave, but I refused. Even if my parents' deaths were orchestrated by the monetarists, we could only have brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus did I plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of its citizens, quite unaware of the consequences my actions would have for you and yours. I shudder to think how many goodly souls paid the price of my naivety. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the monetarist damnable games. Forgive me my outburst. You are one of the few people to whom I feel I can speak my mind. Come, let us return to Ul'dah and visit the Colosseum. Colosseum? Colosseum? How do you read that with an I? Colosseum?
Colosseum.
Colosseum. Colosseum?
The wheels are turning.
No?
In the brain, yes. For how to write a better story.
Okay.
We'll see where this goes.
Why is this basin spineless?
Because there's no spine. Turns out healing. Yes.
Ah.
It's
What the
teleport.
turntables.
Mhm.
Where am I? Who am I? From the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of document signing and ceremonies. For years, I simply signed where I was told to sign and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from that ignominious chapter in my life, for it was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Rauban. The match I had been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They had pitted the Bull of Alamigo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinkered though I was, I would not stand for so obvious an injustice, and demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Rauban to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Rauban had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did. And when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confessed I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theater. But as you know, Rauban is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the Blood Sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to buy not only his freedom, but a seat on the syndicate. And then I had my blade.
Ah! Ah! Your Grace, you mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace, come back! I beg of you!
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Sham. Raban!
Your Grace, I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Uldar. And so, as tradition dictates, Rauben Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last. Long live the Sultana, and long live Uldar!
Right. Well, let me just read this.
It's fine.
She
Fine.
just ran and thrown herself and he just
It's fine.
just ran for it.
You know what we needed in that
Uh-huh.
cutscene at the very end? Instead of him lifting up the sword,
Lifting out the Sultana.
he raises his elbow.
No, he just like
And we have the Sultana perched on his elbow.
He holds his head up and she literally just stands on his hand because of how big his hands
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. No, because that would be the beginning of her sitting on his shoulder, on his elbow.
Yeah, but that was funny. That would be funny if she just standing on his hand.
What I was gonna say is that one, what would have made the story, the writing here a little bit more epic, would have been if she, because that's what I thought they were going for, is that she shows up at the pit. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know who Raban is. She finds out that he's fighting against 12 people, and then she insists for him not to. And then he
But he wants
does
to.
it anyway.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's
that
what I
would
thought
have
would
been.
happen.
Yeah. That's the obvious thing. That's like writing 101 is that like you have like the like insanely powerful like hero character. You know, like Sultana steps in. She's like, oh my god, no, this is so unfair. Like you're gonna kill him, and he's like, nah, let him come. And then
He's like, this is just another
kills him
Tuesday.
anyway. Yeah, and he 1v12s. Like that would have been an epic scene. Like that would have been cool.
True.
But then she's like, and then he went 1v1 and just like easily killed the one guy. It's like what that? It's like what? It's not impressive.
I mean,
it's not.
she did say that like they were planning to kill him though, so I guess that was the point of that.
Yeah, I know, but that's what would have made it. That would have made it like.
Yeah, that they failed.
Right?
That they tried and failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried and failed, and he would maybe even know that they wanted to, but like he's just that good in the ring anyway.
Yeah,
right?
because I guess the thing is that Rauban was a soldier before he was a gladiator, so I guess he has more like experience in like this kind of a fight.
Well, not even just that, just because he's from a place where he had to rely on surviving a lot more in Alamigo. Because remember, he from Alamigo, like even there, like he was like a pit fighter, like he was like like in the trenches, right? So yeah, I assume that's where they were gonna take it, but they kind of turned it back a lot more instead, which is kind of weird. But very quickly, I don't think there's anything really pressing when it comes to the story right now. Like I don't think we're really like I feel like all the focus right now is on Alamigo. There's nothing like lurking in the background really that is like taking our attention away or anything like that. So I think right now is a really good time to slow things down and to focus on all that. And focus on Roban's story and focus on Pippin and focus on what the Sultana is going to do when he's gone, if that is the plan. Because right now she hasn't done anything. Right now I'm very unsatisfied with her words. If you remember, she was saying like I'm, you know, for a long time I was just like signing things I didn't even read. I was just being told what to do and I would just do it. And you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. It's like we've heard this before. Like this is not the first time she said this speech. Like she's said this before. She said this right after she was killed. In A Realm Reborn. Like it was the same thing. Like same like this means nothing. This says nothing.
Like it
She's
still
wasting
feels like
our time.
It feels like nothing has changed since then.
Nothing has changed, which is why I would say that right now, because there's no pressing issues, I would like to focus on that, and I would like to spend some time with her. Again, like in my mind, it would be Pippin, right? With her like appointing a replacement for Roban, so that she could still like have some kind of like safetyness or some kind of strength, some kind of presence here, or you know, or maybe even her acquiring some other friends even in the syndicate, or like some political games, whatever you want to do, like something. Like I want us to spend time here with the Sultana, because right now we have done nothing. Like we're learning a little bit of backstory here, which is nice, but like if the plan is, and if the end goal and if what's going to happen is that the Sultana is going to be here by herself, then we need it to be satisfying, we need it to be believable, and we need to like know what's happening. And I would say that right now there's time to do this, and if they don't spend time doing it, then like what are we doing, right? Like this is the time to slow down and to focus on all that and focus on the Sultana, and I hope we do. Like this is their moment to focus on Sultan and focus on the problem with Ul'dah, because right now we're just rehashing what we already knew. She's like, Ul'dah, that, you know, it's run by the syndicate. I mean, we've heard this like 10 different times. Like
Didn't they try to change to a republic?
Yeah, like we're not learning anything new right now,
Yeah.
except for the flashback with Roban, but like that's not helping like what's happening right now, not yet.
Yeah, we don't know much about the current situation of Ul'dah.
Yeah, and what the plan
Also-
is, right? Like what the plan
yeah.
is moving forward, right?
Also, I will say this cinematic specifically makes me really, I guess not question, but very confused about what her actual age is, because she seems like a literal child.
She's like 50 years old. I don't know. Like she's the falafel. Like she seems like a child. She acts like a
guess.
child, but she's like meant to be like, you know. I say 50. Like she's meant to be, you know, decently old, just very naive. From my understanding. Like she's not a baby. She's not like 15.
Yeah, she seems 15. She seems genuinely 15. Like maybe now she's like 17. You know, that's what it seems like, which I don't think is the case. Words cannot well express what that man means to me. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Papa Shan's love for me is as that of a grandsire for his grandchild. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Roban, with the authority of his syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. His was the only edge which could cut the strings that bound me.
Okay, so who's his replacement? Like what? And hold on, so she's bringing up something really important that I wasn't aware of. That that apparently he became top 6 wealthiest person in.
Yeah, he's
Ul'dah.
actually rich.
Yeah, like I didn't know that.
Like,
I mean, we knew that he fought his way through the pits to get greater standing. I just assumed that he fought through the pits to be able to get into the immortal flames, but apparently not. Apparently,
No,
he became top 6 richest in the world.
Yeah,
or in the city.
I thought
In the world,
like
actually.
he like bought his freedom essentially because he was like, you know, a slave.
Yeah.
And I thought
Yeah.
he just bought his freedom and just became a citizen essentially. But no, turns out he just became straight up a rich guy. Apparently.
Yeah, not just that. He became 6th richest person
Yeah.
in Edosia.
Like,
Like
okay.
I would extend that to Edosia, not just Ul'dah, because the richest
Because
people
Ul'dah
in
is
the world
the
in Edosia
richest,
are in Ul'dah. Yes, exactly. So he straight up became 6th richest person in the world, or in this part of the world.
I mean, unless Ishgard. I feel like Ishgardians can also be pretty rich. But we don't know
maybe.
that.
Yeah, we have to compare wealth levels between them. We have to have a money off.
I mean,
the syndicate
what is the currency?
highborn
Like,
in
I'm sure they
Australia.
don't all use gil. I'm pretty sure they have different currencies. I don't know what the exchange rate is there, you know?
But what's important, more important than that, is that now if he leaves, then she doesn't have someone in the syndicate. Like
Yeah.
even if Pippin became the leader of the Immortal Flames, that is not the same as a spot on the syndicate,
He
right?
is his son, though, so maybe he just, like, gets it.
I don't know
from
if that's how that
I don't
works.
know.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because he is family, technically.
But that what I'm saying is that puts a little bit more importance in Raban's role, and that means that the hole that he will leave when he the hole that he leaves when he does step away is bigger than
Yeah, like,
we
he's
thought.
not just an advisor to the Sultana, like, he's literally part of the government.
Yeah. Like he's not just a general, he's not just the military leader, he's not just an advisor, he's not just a fighter, but he's also apparently on the syndicate as well, which is pretty important, I feel.
So do you want to know
Enamel seems-
Sultana's age? At the time of this expansion, yes. What is her age now? I'm curious.
I would push back against whatever's going to be said here, because if you remember, I think they revealed Kryl's age recently, and I think she's like in her 20s. She's
That's
in her
not
20s in
possible.
Dawn Trail. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like,
Unless
I-
they age differently, but it's just not possible. Because she's supposed
But
to be
yeah,
Alphino's teacher.
Exactly. I think we had this discussion because we looked it up during Heaven's Ward, and we looked it up, and at the time it was before Dawn Trail was released, so it would have been Endwalker. In Endwalker, I believe Kral was in her 20s, and I remember looking it up and a lot of arguments happening like online, like on Reddit and stuff, about people being like, "This makes no sense." It's like the people at Square that are writing this like don't know their characters, because this makes no sense for
Yeah,
her to
because
be
it
so
was
young.
specifically established that she
Endwalker.
was Alphino's teacher, so she has to be like much
Yeah.
older than him.
Exactly. Like, it just made no sense. So that's why I don't know if I trust what the writers
fair
write
enough. Fair enough.
when it comes to age of characters, because they've already shown that they don't know what they're doing. But Nanamo seems lost in thoughts of the past.
We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan's firm for long. And there are other places I would visit. To the... Ar, Zaneth, Osuari. There's a double R there. Ar.
I don't even know where that is.
That's the thaumaturges, I'm pretty
it's
sure.
we're going to the siblings.
Yeah, true. The Coco siblings.
There's like 8 that they're like octuplets or something, right?
No, I think it's 5. And they're all
and they're
cocoa.
quintuplets.
Yeah. They're all coconuts.
Poor mother.
Oh, Lalafell mother, no less. Just want to point that out.
Jeez. Yeah, see, it's Soka saying 21 in a Realm Reborn.
No, she could be 20. I think that's fine. For Nanamo specifically,
Well,
I
then
think it's fine.
For here, then they're saying she's like 21.
Yeah, 21, 22, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, because she does seem young. She does actually seem young. But I was just curious how young. Because
she's
how
hold
long-
on.
how
So
long-
she's 21 here. It was 5 years ago when the calamity happened.
Yeah.
And it was 20 years ago when she rose to power.
No. It was less than that.
What happened? Because she said 20 years. She said 20 years.
When?
Like she said that in this stream. She's
Yeah, but
when
in
we were
what
just
context?
outside the city gates. That's what I mean. I think it was 20 years ago when her parents died. Am I crazy?
No. Was it?
Did she say
Well,
that
you
it was
can s-
5 years ago that was a
You can
calamity and 20
see if
years
you
ago
can
when her
scroll
parents
that
died?
far. Let's see if we can scroll that far.
Because she said 20 years. I think it was when we were at the site of her parents' death.
I'm looking. It was here in this holy and remarkable place that my mother found me the room. It was but a child. No, it never says time. It doesn't say time. It just says that she was a
said 20
child.
years when we were just outside of Ul'dah. Because she said 20 years this stream.
Let's see.
Because she said 5 years since the calamity, then 20 years since whatever.
20 years have passed since the fall of Alamigo and 5 since the calamity. Yet the plight of the
Okay,
poor has
okay.
grown more desperate, not less. But like, she
Okay,
doesn't say
okay.
that she was there for it. Just that's the fact that's happened.
Okay. Then 20 years since the fall of Alamigo.
But my question was when it was that Rauban was in the Colosseum. Like when she could have seen him. Like how long ago was it?
Yeah, that's what I mean when it comes to timelines. Because they're saying that Alamigo fell 20 years ago.
No.
Raban,
Yeah, after
then he comes over. He's already like a fighter. He's already like a...
Yeah,
like,
but he
was a
starts
part of
from the
Alamigo.
bottom.
No, yeah. But that means
And-
that he was here fighting for 15 years?
But
In the pit?
important note, during the calamity, so 5 years ago, he was already a general.
Yeah, that's why I said 15 years.
So yeah, something
Maybe
like that.
maybe 10.
And she would be like 14, I guess, when that happened. Or younger. Okay. No, fair enough. I can see a 14-year-old throwing herself at a gladiator. Okay, fair enough. Because I was curious, because that scene just seemed very childish, so I was curious about her age. Are you ready? When the calamity threatened, Rauban led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Carteno, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that the Archon Louisoix would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I have made a custom of visiting this shrine during each of my little excursions. Here, I seek the blessing of Thal, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself if I am fulfilling my duties as Sultana. You are rightly celebrated as a champion because you have led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversity. If I am to be a sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Ul'dah. I have chosen my path, Mielikka. With Alamigo now freed and from imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees.
It's just to get rid of them and just move them to Alamigo.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like that was the obvious answer, but
Hey,
what she says.
maybe she will personally send money there. Hey. Already, many displaced Alamigans seek to begin the long trek home. To facilitate that process, I have made a small contribution, an artisan school in Ralk's Reach for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. But we do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time, the Ul'dah treasury shall provide. Precisely when and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question.
I guess 2.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, why not seek advice of one
Yeah.
who employs refugees? Yeah, sure. A wise suggestion. Mayhap a visit to the Gold Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the syndicate, and he is one of the few who pay refugees a fair wage. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Manderville? Oh boy, am I. A bit too
And a
personally.
massage.
Yeah, I was gonna say, a bit too personally. Then I need not explain his eccentric nature. Let us make our way to the landing, and I will see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us. Oh yeah, he is always very glad. Just make sure to bring oil.
Do you think it's possible that Goldberg might be the richest person in Dozia?
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes. No, I think that's actually that is true.
They have to be they have to be careful with their writing here because they're writing themselves into. Yeah, I don't think they realize what they're doing. Because of the revelation that Rauban, they did not have to add a number, but they chose to. They chose to say he is the 6th richest person in Ul'dah.
One of the 6.
Like no, he said he's number 6, right?
Did she say
Like
specifically?
you don't just become like one of the 6. As in, sorry, one of the 6 implies he is 6th, right?
Okay.
If he was like, if you're saying like maybe he's number 5, it's like if he was number 5, then they would say he's top 5, right? Like saying
No,
he's
but
top 6
I mean that
means he's number
there are
6.
6 members, so he's one of the 6 members. Is what I mean.
No. He's top 6.
Okay.
And the implication that the syndicate probably has more than 6 members, right? But
Okay.
the problem with what they're writing here is that if they say that Rauban is number 6, and that Godbert is also a part of the syndicate, and he's probably like top 2, or maybe even just number 1,
I would say he's 1. Looking at what he
Yeah.
does, he's probably number 1.
then the idea of the syndicate ruling the nation and doing so in a poor manner and doing so with their own self-interest in mind, but also having Godbert be a part of the
And
syndicate
Rauban, like there's already 2 people.
and Rauban, but also placing Rauban very highly, saying that he's like top 6 member, like that. Then you're starting to run into some problems here. Like then you're like, hold on, like what's going on? Like hold on. Are you saying that Godbert actually is against the interests of the people? Like, is he not pushing? Like you would think if suddenly, now that we know that Goldberg is a part of the syndicate, you'd think that he'd have some proper sway there.
Yeah, I guess he
because
doesn't.
of how much, like, the idea is that the more money you have, the more influential you are, right? And you would think that Goldberg is a good person. But if like, so that's what I mean. Like they're suddenly saying that he's a part of the syndicate. I feel like hurts the lore a little bit, right? Because then it's like, hold on, like what's going on? Like yeah. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to make him a part of the syndicate, but they just chose to, right? And I feel like if you're saying that he's a part of a group that does bad things, it's like, hold on, like what's happening here, right?
I mean, it sounds like it's more like a numbers thing, where like he's just being outvoted.
That has to be the case. But then, like, how big is the syndicate? And again, as I mentioned, like, essentially because he is so rich, then because he's on the syndicate, you think that he has more power than others on the syndicate anyway.
Yeah,
He
I
should,
don't know how that works.
right? Yeah. And he's the kind of person that wouldn't be afraid of getting killed.
Good luck.
Like he would not. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like it's like narratively, it's an issue if you make him a part of the syndicate. It doesn't make any sense because he wouldn't care about being killed and poisoned and being like he wouldn't care. He wouldn't care to bow down and listen to them, right? Because that's not Godbert.
Yeah, but
Like,
what could he do if they outvote him? What can he do? Like buy their votes? Like
Yes. No. Actually, no. Unironically, like if he has that much money, then yes, that's how that works.
but what if he just doesn't do it on principle because he doesn't want to cheat?
What do you mean cheat?
Yeah, that's that like bribe. It would be essentially bribing people to vote for what he wants.
Well, I mean, what you're saying is that he doesn't care about the people then, because we know how much awful shit happens here, right? Like that's the issue. Like what you're saying is either he's complicit or either he looks away and he lets them do whatever they want and he just allows bad things to happen. That's the problem. Like narratively that you're running into. Like that's the whole reason why I brought it up. Like that's the issue here. Like they didn't have to drop that line to make him a part of the syndicate, but now that they did, like that just creates problems.
I'm going to the saucer, I think, or no?
It says airship landing. That's inside the thingy. Right?
Yes.
Where's the way to the airship? Is it the elevator?
No, there's a little airship landing is a thing.
It's an option.
Yes, it's an etherite thingy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, there is an elevator, I'm sure, but I don't know where.
Yeah, the elevator takes you.
I have ridden aboard a public airship before, but this shall be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement. Wait, Sultana was never in the Gold Saucer? Are you serious? That's surprising.
Yeah, it's especially like you'd think that she'd sneak off to go there all the time.
Not even sneak off, she could go there officially. Like, it's a casino.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to expect rich people there.
Yeah.
My airship was delayed. You know, it wasn't on schedule. I had to wait there for it.
We'll see if they address it, because it's like, again, it's like the syndicate. They rule the country and they're terrible people. Like they you know, they take advantage of the poor, and they just ruin the lives of all the refugees, and they don't care about them. They only care about increasing their own wealth. And the most powerful, all of them, Godbert. It's like that's what we're saying right now, because he would be the most powerful syndicate member. Yeah.
I had heard descriptions of its splendor, yet I never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting. No, I couldn't possibly. Did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Godbear will be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these godly temptations.
Like Godbert, he's so rich that he runs this place at a loss. Like you cannot not make money. But that's the whole point. Like lore-wise, that is canonical. That people that go to the sorcerer, they make money because he's just so generous. Because he has so much wealth. You go here and he gives you money. Like that's the lore.
True.
That's the lore of the Gold
True.
Sorcerer. Unironically, that's just how wealthy he is.
I just like.
And apparently he's evil. Apparently he does this, but he also ensures that, you know, people are homeless in Uldar, and people are discriminated against, and he takes
God.
advantage of other people. Like what?
What's happening here? They were saying some weird things. I believe this is where we are to meet Lord Manderville. Shall we sit while we await his coming? Oh boy. Hello, Godbert. Long time no see. How's your son? He's dressed!
Oh, he has pants.
Yeah, he has pants in
My
front of
apologies,
Sultana.
Your Grace. I have kept you waiting.
No apologies are necessary, Godbert. My request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available at such short notice.
When the intrepid Light Duck and the Sultana herself came calling, there was no more important engagement.
Even put on pants. As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the crown might best aid the refugees residing in Tanalan. You are aware, I'm sure, that many of Alamigo's displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you are also aware of how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them that suffering. What advice have you for me on the matter of how it might best be distributed?
It's like, oh, you shouldn't. Should keep it for the syndicate. So okay. The unusual circumstances of our meeting and your Grace's choice of companion would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is stop taxing Uldar's wealth to save Alamigan refugees. It's a terrible, terrible idea.
You
Stop
oppose
taxing
my
Uldar's wealth.
proposition?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's part of the... We just went through this. He's the leader of the syndicate. Most empathetically, I agree with your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment. But what profit is there for Uldar in this arrangement?
Profit? After all you have done for Gilabania's displays, I thought you the very last person to seek to benefit from their misfortune.
He's the leader of the syndicate. What are you forgive me, your Grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man. I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin by relying upon it, to expect it. And then we must consider Uldar's own poor and downtrodden. I mean, the poor and downtrodden Uldar are mainly the refugees, by the way.
Mainly.
They're
but
one and the same. No, the majority. If you remember, the majority of the poor and downtrodden are the mass amount of refugees they've been getting for the past 20 years. Should they hear of you spend... So what I'm saying is that, like, the idea of arguing against this and saying that what about Uldar's, you know, what about the Uldar, like, poor and downtrodden people in Uldar? They're one and the same. They are one and the same. Should they hear of you spending the nation's coin, not to improve their lot, but to nurture the distant citizens of Alamigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not your Grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill.
Indeed. Then, any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, whilst also serving the interests of the people of Uldar.
There's so much wrong with what he said. Oh god. Exactly so. Such an like the idea
Keep
the
going.
idea of
You get to it.
no. He said stop taxing the wealthy to help those that are misfortuned. But again, like he's arguing that the people of Alamigo wouldn't want you to spend money on refugees instead of on themselves. But the refugees are the people of Alamigo right now. They've been there for 20 years. So those are the people that you're helping. So they would want you to help them. And on top of that, it's not like the money that would have been spent on the poor people of Uldar anyway, because they're not getting any support at all. Like that's the issue with Uldar is already they're not getting support. Like already like they're not getting anything.
Yeah, but maybe
And that's already an issue.
Maybe that's the point, that like should direct your efforts there instead of helping a foreign nation.
But that's not where the conversation is going. If you're saying if the argument is that Godmer is saying, hey, you should look after your own, but that's not where the conversation is going. Okay, so I need to find another way to direct money and resources to help the Alamigan refugees. That's what she's thinking. She's not thinking, yes, I need to think of helping the poor
My
people in
own
Uldar right
nation,
now.
yeah.
That's not where this conversation is going. Like it's not going there. Fuck him, apparently. Oh god. Exactly, sir. Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Alamigans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects.
You have given me much to ponder, Lord Manderville. I thank you for your candor.
Like, he basically just said, "What about the poor people of Ul'dah?" She did not address that at all. Like, that was not spoken about at all. No.
I guess it was less. I guess the vibe of the conversation was less about what about that. It was more like you are running a business. You cannot just give stuff for free.
But she still is, though. It's just in a different way. But she still is.
Yeah, I mean, she said she will find a way, but like his point was that like you need to like have something in return for the Ul'dah and not just give them money.
Like, I would counter that by saying, because he's saying that you don't want your people to hate you because you're going to be publicly giving money to others in need, but the others in need that she's giving money to are her people still, because she's talking about they're talking about the same people. They're talking about the refugees that are currently in Ul'dah.
Are we sure that the only poor people in Ul'dah are the refugees?
No, they aren't the only ones, but they're the majority. If you, like, it's been hammered in the story time and time again that there's a massive refugee issue in Ul'dah, and that is what's like hurting them. Like, they have like massive like encampments outside the city walls.
Are they citizens?
We just went there.
Are they citizens?
Are they citizens? I mean, apparently, Raban isn't considered a citizen. Apparently, he's been here almost all his life, and she's like, yeah, he's not one of us. Like, what?
Or maybe, I mean, I thought he bought his citizenship, but I guess not.
Like, they're handling this in such a poor way. Like, I can't. No, so what I was getting at is that, he's saying like you don't want to lose favor with the poor, with those that are in a rough position in Ul'dah where they themselves need support. Her answer isn't to help them though, which means that they're still going to be in the same position. See, this is why I said at the beginning of all this how right now is the time to focus on Ul'dah and focus the story here to try to fix it and try to focus on the characters that are here. I don't think we're gonna get that. It doesn't look like it. The Namo appears to be reassessing her plans.
Profit. The thought never even crossed my mind. But standing about lamenting my naivety will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lesson learned and press on. Mielikka, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack for business. Who are we saying? Who could it be? No! I veto! No! Okay.
Aren't these the people that tried to kill her?
I want to say, I said that when we first arrived in Kugane. Those are the very people who killed Sultan and tried to kill us, and they're like, you know what? We can trade with them. No.
Yeah.
Never talking to them again. If we can, we should probably jail them.
We should. Like, see, this is. Sorry, so once again, when I said that we should focus our attention on, like, the story surrounding Ul'dah, like, it would not surprise me if, at this point, if the East Aldana Trading Company killed her parents.
Could be. I mean,
Yeah.
they
like,
tried to kill
I
her.
think it'd be,
What's the difference?
they did kill her.
They did kill her, true. She did, survive.
They killed her and they killed her parents. I would be so much more excited and enamored if this quest line instead, when we went and saw her dead parents, you know what? Just rewrite all of this. And she's like, when I was young, I told Raban not to investigate because I felt like it didn't matter, right? Like it was just too much for me, like, and I was in over my head and I was very naive. But you know what? Let's open up that investigation. Like that would be like, you know what? Let's do it. And then bam, the quest from there goes into looking into the death of her parents. And then you find out that the syndicate was behind it. And then then Raban comes in to help. And then you crack down on the syndicate and then you restructure the syndicate, because you end up cracking down on the higher ups, and then you get rid of the leaders of the other trading company and the other like top syndicate leaders that apparently were behind the death of their parents. And then in there, then it's like, oh, you know, you have like Godbirths, you know, you have you start placing like more known like well-meaning people like in the syndicate, and then you start to like fix Ul'dah.
And then things get better.
Like that's yes, and that's where you take the story, and like and you can do so much with that. We're doing none of that. Which we're like, you know what? The people that kill my parents, let's give them some more business opportunities. Let's give them some more money.
Yeah, but
let's give them some more money.
See,
Let's thank
I'm
them
not
for killing
even.
my parents.
I'm not even talking about like Sultana's relations to them. But do not put the words in my mouth where they say, "Oh, you hold Hancock in high esteem." I did not trust him for 1 second, and not, even in character, we didn't trust him for 1 second. We kept like dealing with him because we had no choice, and he specifically told us we have no choice because if we don't cooperate, that he's gonna like, you know, mess up our business. And now we're suddenly holding him in high esteem. Excuse me, I don't trust it, guy, for a single moment.
Uh-huh.
This I'm actually upset about. Like the rest is like whatever, Ul'dah, but like this I'm actually upset about because from the moment we saw him, I always kept saying that this is a bad idea, and we should not be going that way.
I mean, they tried to kill us.
They stabbed Alfino. They stabbed him.
They did.
I will not forgive. Anyway. Ordinarily, I would not trust any agent of the East Aldernal Trading Company, as you should. But if you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, I am content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kugane and speaking with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not the leisure for my lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel as adventurers I want to do, I shall await your report by the Aetherite in Ul'dah. A fair journey to you, Mielikka, and a swift one, if you please. So she's just gonna be standing on the street until we're back.
Yep.
I am actually mad. This is the one thing I'm mad about because they literally tried to kill us and now we're like fucking friends apparently. Never. And see, my problem is that like it wasn't just like that's my feeling, but even in character we like Hancock was like trying to, you know, like say something nice and we were like no, we're watching you. Like every time that was like a line, like even Tataru said that Tataru will like keep an eye on him because we don't trust him. It's like even in character we don't trust them and now suddenly we recommend them.
Yeah, it's really weird. Again, they're making the narrative decision to continue to work with the East Aldernal Trading Company. They obviously, the writers want you to not care about what they did and they want you to work with them for whatever reason. Like it would have been so much more interesting. I mean, we already spoke about this when it comes to how poorly they handled Kugane as a city and Kugane as a quest hub, but like what should have happened here is that we actually connect with other trading companies that are here, because there should be plenty. And
yes,
I think we spoke about like potentially like, I think if you remember, we spoke about a quest line which like apparently led to us like connecting some people with the East Aldernal Trading Company. But we spoke about the idea of maybe like connecting them with like with like other with just other people that we had encountered, like whether it's the Kojin, whether it's like the pirates or whoever, right? Or even just invent another party here. And it would be so much better and so much more cathartic if instead we were using Hancock and using like the East Aldernal Trading Company that was here just to like, you know, get better connections and get better acquaintances and forge better alliances
because we don't
with
trust
people.
them, like we just work with them because we have to until we find something better.
Yeah, and then we just ditch them, right? That would just make logical sense. But like instead they're writing in such a way where we just keep working with them because it feels like they just want us to like them. and want us to like this character, and they want
Yeah,
us
but
to like just get
it
over
makes
it.
no sense. And even skipping the fact that they literally tried to kill us, for all we know, they're a shady company. Why do we want advice from a shady
Well,
company?
they are. I mean, again, as I mentioned, that for all we know, they killed their parents. Like, I'm pretty, for all we know.
yeah, but I'm
So it
saying
makes sense
like
that they
regardless
killed
of
their
the
parents.
crimes, like even like just purely finance-wise, as far as we know, they're a shady company. Why do we want advice from a shady company?
Yeah. Greetings, honored sir. You'll be entering the Ruby Bazaar offices.
Against my better judgment, yes.
Ah, right. To what do I owe the pleasure? Or are you here on business?
Unfortunately.
Beg your pardon? Her Grace the Sultana would have my opinion on how best to invest the wealth of Oldar. My dear Light, I have you to thank for this recognition, I'm sure. And I'm flattered that you came to me. Truly flattered.
Don't think too much
But-
of it. I have a dagger in my pocket.
Why settle for a lowly apprentice when you could have the master? Upon matters of profits, there is no living soul better qualified to advise Her Grace than the chairman, Lolorito, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his garden robe with gold. I should be happy to arrange a meeting for you. Say, at the Sound's former headquarters in Thanalan. The Waking Sands would seem a suitably neutral venue for negotiations, don't you think? Fare you well, Light, and may your dealings prove fruitful.
Yes, let's talk with Lororito himself about how to best stab Sultana.
Going to the steps of Nald.
Yeah, just... I'm... why? Why? Are there no other merchants in the entire Eorzea? Not a single one. I feel like the Kojin have a better advice for us.
What is happening right now?
What is happening?
No, like right now in this story, the Sultana doesn't know how to spend her money. So she went to Godbert, and Godbert was like, "Oh, just find a way to support Alamigo while also earning money at the same time," is what he said.
I mean, basically
And
what he
Sultana's
said is
like-
that you have to make it sustainable and not just like gifting the money as charity.
Yeah, is what he said. And then she's like, "I don't know how to do that. let me just reach out to the East Arnold Trading Company because they probably know how to make money." It's like, what?
Yeah, they also know how to kill people, scam, cause riots.
Well, no, like,
The list goes on.
no, like, I would say that wouldn't it make sense if Gobert just told her?
Yes.
Like, I don't think there's a reason why he wouldn't have an idea as to how to go about this. That's why we went to him in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, he literally said that that's like what she has to do, and instead of being like, okay, so what would be the best way to do that? She's like, thank you, you gave me a lot to think about. I'm like, what? Just ask him. He's right there in front of you.
I feel like either that or ask Ralban, because
Sure, yeah.
because
But no,
you-
she can't ask Urban because the point is that she wanted to do this without Urban.
ask Pippin.
She
Ask
doesn't have his
Liz.
number. She doesn't have his number. Liz is not available. She doesn't have a phone.
Ask Mango. Mango has a phone.
Mango has the phone, but she also doesn't have her number. You don't understand. The
Like,
link shares are very complicated.
Like, as in, wouldn't it make sense to
Yes.
like
It would.
reach out to Alamigo and be like, hey, do you have any any resources that we might be interested in? Like, maybe we can like create like a trade deal where like maybe you can give us
I guess. I mean,
we can like set it up so like maybe we can like buy things from you, and you can like create and you can like give us like minerals, or maybe like we can I don't know, just that's the first thing.
I
that
guess
comes
the
to
thing
mind
is that
initially.
like she doesn't like she wants to have like an offer ready for them instead of like going to the people and just negotiating, because she doesn't have experience in that and she feels like she would be taken advantage of.
But she's
maybe?
gonna be negotiating with Raban. The whole point of this is that Raban's gonna be the leader of El Amigo. You say she doesn't trust
I don't
speaking to
know.
him without being taken advantage of? Like what? That's what I mean. Like what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? What is this problem that we've created out of nothing?
Yeah, but you are right that the base decision would be to go to Rauban and be like, okay, Rauban, you are part of the syndicate, you earned all this money, so clearly you know how to earn money. So what would be the best like way to help Al Amigo that would also benefit us?
More importantly is that he knows the Alamigan people. He knows what they have.
Yeah,
he
but
knows
what I
they
mean
can
is that
offer.
like he's not just like a warrior, like he actually knows about
Yeah.
finance as well.
Yeah. Anyway.
Welcome back, Mielikka. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share?
No.
No. With Lolorito? And you agreed to this? Somehow. Don't ask me. The writers told me to. I am well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I had hoped to keep the monetaries at arm's length, and him in particular.
I'm crazy. Like, was he not like exiled from Moldau or something? Like,
He was.
what happened? Like,
I mean, I don't remember if it was him or Adeligi. Remember there was also Adeligi? There were two of them.
Yeah, but Adeligi, he's dead. He
Yeah,
died.
he was dead, and Lorito, I think, was exiled, yes. But that's the thing, it's like, imagine you put the guy in jail, but he's rich, and you're like, well, too bad, I guess I will have to deal with this criminal. I'm like, what? It's like, no you don't, he's in jail, leave him be, leave him in jail. God. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Ulda effectively. Very well. I will meet with Lororito. Let us go on ahead to the Waking Sands and prepare for his coming. Okay, we are in the Waking Sands suddenly.
What?
It just teleported us after that line.
Okay. So yeah, I just double check. Yeah, Lolito, he was a part of the conspiracy to kill the Sultana.
Yes.
Like he was a part of
Yes.
that. He was literally a part of that.
Yes! He was one of the big offenders, and we just decided to trade with him because who cares? This is crazy. This is genuinely crazy.
I like how this is getting to you a lot
Yes.
more than like the previous stuff was getting to me a lot more. You're like, this is
Because
this is
because the previous
crazy.
stuff is about, oh, like this is what these people are doing. This happened to us. We were chased, we were hunted, our friends were stabbed. This is personal. Okay? This
Yeah.
is different.
It is.
Like
This is
not
more
in a
personal
million
to the character that is the Warrior of Light. Yes, and to
Yeah, and not in a million years would I recommend working with somebody who tried to kill me. What the heck? Like, this is insane. That this is just genuinely insane.
it is. Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know.
So this is where the Scions first congregated. I've heard many tales, but never had an occasion to visit. To work then. The hour of the meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves.
A personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help. You have made your point. 'Tis indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask. There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira?
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I'm glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say I'm most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo. The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate. But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Uldar and Alamigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Ah, 'twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more. To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Uldar. Huh, I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would. Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I. Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
Alagana is the place where Liz went. She went there to speak to the people, and like they shunned her initially.
I just
but
realized
then
that I
they
was
forgave
muted
her.
this entire time, which is fine.
Okay. But yeah, Alagana, that's that place. It's in the peaks, right? It's in the place right next to
is it the
Radler's
one?
Beach.
Is it the one with the houses in the wall?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the quarry. That's what I was talking. So Alagana is the quarry, which I think would be a good investment because the quarry is already there. So you just invest in the quarry, and you need stone anyway.
Hold on. The other one is Alagiri. Let's see. Alagiri. Is Alagiri I think Alagiri is the place with all the whores. with
Oh, you
with
mean
all
the-
the sex workers.
Ah.
I think that's what Alagiri
I
is.
mean,
Hold
that's
on.
fitting for Uldano.
Uh-huh.
Shake my head. And the Saltery would be, I guess, the village in the logs?
So yes, Alagiri is where all the sex workers are. And the Saltery. The Saltery is like the main area in the Lux. It's like the little like establishment right
Yeah.
outside the palace.
Yeah.
Like the huts and stuff. So yeah, I would say that Alagana.
Yeah, Alagana makes the most sense because they already had business there. Like Alagiri is more like a merchant place, if anything. Like they had like trade there, but I don't think that's place for industry.
Unless we care about the brothel industry.
Yeah, but I think
Look,
they
they were
want...
very vague when it came to what
True,
industry they want to invest
true,
into. So I don't know.
true.
Maybe that's what she cares about. I don't know. Like,
True, they were vague about the industry, but I feel like when I think industry, I like the quarry immediately
yeah,
came to
I
mind.
know. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So Alagana. That's good.
Okay, let's keep going then.
Yes, a quarry town certainly does carry the potential for profit. At least it would do were it situated anywhere near a lucrative market. It would cost more to transport the materials than they are worth, in my humble opinion.
Are you serious? Sorry, I was simulated. Are we doing this? I guess we're just doing this one by one. Let's go.
Yes, if a stable trade route can be established between Uldar and Alamigo, then Alagiri would once more become an important waypoint. But while such growth would greatly benefit its current residents, I'm afraid it could sustain little beyond that.
Yes, game, you clearly want me to say the Saltery, even though I don't think that's a good idea, but thank you, game.
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld. I know the Saltery and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, and in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gill.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenard Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ons of profit from its production. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders, just as Your Grace desired.
A deal is struck then.
Like apa? If you're there, you're muted.
I am not muted.
Okay.
I am speechless.
Ah.
I have nothing to say.
Ah. Ah.
Firstly,
Ah.
the game saying you clearly want me to say salty. I'm like, yeah. Apparently, for some reason.
Ah.
Secondly, the guy is like, yeah, we could get the stone from the quarry, but it's too far. But the logs, which are farther than that, those are good. Like, okay, sure. And third, when he finishes with, okay, I will send my specialist there so we can like squeeze every last bit of profit of this place. I'm like, is that what we wanted?
Well, apparently yes. Like the whole concept of what is happening here makes no sense to me. First things first, I don't like what she just proposed when it comes to where the money's coming from. So basically, if you remember, Lorolito, when after the events of A Realm Reborn and during Heaven's Ward, I believe, is when Lorito, his punishment was we took some of his money. I think we took like some of his holdings. No, not even. No.
He's paying.
God, hold on.
She said that he's paying like reparations or whatever it's called.
He did, but hold on. There's more specifics here. Hold on. Here we go. Good. Lorito has surrendered. This happened in Heaven's Ward. That's what straight up. So this happened in Heaven's Ward after, because remember in Heaven's Ward we went away from Ishgard for a while. We went to Ul'dah. Lorito surrendered Teledi's assets and half of his personal wealth to the crown. That was his
and
his way to like reimburse.
the wealthiest apparently. Just want to point it out. So it's not Godbird number one. Apparently Lorito is number one still.
Apparently he gave half his money, and apparently sure, but that was given during Heaven's Ward. And to my surprise, apparently we haven't done anything with it. That's what we just learned here. That is what is weird to me, is that apparently the crown acquired all of Telegi's all of his holdings, and then half of Lolito's like earnings, and apparently it's just been sitting there. Apparently nothing has been done with that. So the idea of stepping in and being like, hey, like we need to like we're gonna be setting up a deal here. We're gonna try and get profit off of, you know, a war-torn country, question mark, and we want to take advantage of them. We're gonna use your money that you gave us like a year ago to do that. It feels weird. It's like what? It's like what's happening right now? What are you talking about? So so there's no investment from him. She's not taking money from the people. She's taking like this goes in the face of what was said earlier, where Goldberg was like, "Oh, remember what he said? He said you shouldn't tax the wealthy to help the refugees." But apparently we're not, because we're not even using that money. We're using the money that was taken from Teleji earlier, like a year ago. So it doesn't even make any sense. You're not taking money away from the people. This is money that you already had that was taken from the person that tried to kill you, or that did kill you, right? Yeah. So like the entire idea of wanting to make sure you're in good standings with the people and wanting to make sure that you don't lose popularity because you're going to be sending tax, like the taxpayers' money from Ul'dah to help refugees. That doesn't even apply, because you're not using that money. You're using money that you took from the guy that tried to kill you.
Yeah.
So none of this makes any sense.
I mean, to be fair,
specifically now,
like
because specifically because specifically right now we just found out that because we didn't know this earlier, but right now she just said it, that she said the money that we're going to use is the money that we took from.
Yeah, but I say this could be like
we're
the
not using
initial investment, and then like, you know, to keep it sustainable, they will need like the treasury.
No, because to keep it sustainable, you're taking money from Alamigo. That's why he had the line.
She just wanted to give money, but instead they're like, no, we can't just keep using money. We have to like actually gain something from it.
No, but the reason why that was said, if you remember, was because Godbert said that that the people weren't like the idea of you taking their money to help others. But you're not taking their money to help others. You're taking the money from two specific people, from Teleji and from Lorito. So that line didn't make any sense. We could have skipped this entire part of the quest line if in that moment she's told Goldberg, she's like, oh no, don't worry, we're not taking like taxpayers' money, we're taking the money from two specific people from the syndicate
that we took as like as a punishment.
Yeah, exactly, because half of Lolito's overall earnings, like that's apparently a lot of money.
Yeah.
If he's the richest person
if after
in
taking
Ul'dah,
half
in the world,
of his worth is still the richest person, then it must be a lot.
Yeah, exactly. That must be huge. That must be more than what Gobert has, apparently. Like. So what? So what's happening here? So why are we profiting off of refugees?
Why are we sending the worst person that we know to profit of refugees?
No, why are we agreeing with this? Why are we agreeing to any of this? Why are we agreeing to it? Why are we doing this? This doesn't make any sense.
So the
concept doesn't make any sense. No, not even that we're working with Lorito. Doesn't matter who we're working with. Like the idea of taxing the Alamegans to help them. But we don't. But like again, like the money that's being spent there, it's coming from somewhere else. It's not even coming from Ul'dah. It's not coming from Ul'dah. It's like personal money from like individuals, from two individual people specifically. like this doesn't make any sense. Like why are we doing this? It's crazy. It feels just it's like with like just exploiting. We're just taking it, which it feels like we're just taking advantage of these people, of the Alamegan people.
I guess the argument is that they're gonna earn fair wage, but if we're sending Lorito there, then probably not.
No, because because remember as well, we're what are we doing? We're giving them money to create an industry that can trade salt to Uldar. So we're already getting the salt, by the way, and then we're getting 30% on top of that. We're getting 30% of how much money they're making.
And the product. Yes.
And the product. And the Uldan people aren't even paying for it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like
Good deal.
we're literally just taking advantage of refugees.
Also, since when is salt like a commodity that like they don't have? I thought salt was not a problem in this world.
Well, specifically in Uldar, we're in the desert. There's plenty of salt. Like this would be the place where there's all the salt, right?
I don't know if it's in the desert, but like I what I mean is that like it never came up that there wasn't salt. Like it never came up that salt being like a rarity of any kind. Like it was just like the salt is just
value. I
very basic.
understand the idea that there's value in salt. Like I understand.
Yeah,
that.
but what I mean is like I don't understand why he's like, oh, like, you know, we were like deprived of this amazing thing that is salt from the lake. I'm like, what? You had salt this entire time, and somehow it's more.
No, it's like high quality salt. It's like high quality
guess.
valuable salt. Yeah, apparently. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy because we're exploiting our own people. I mean, this is very Uldar, but like the Sultanah shouldn't be doing this. The Sultanah should not be doing this. Why is she doing this?
Because she is Uldan.
Why did Gobert tell her to do this?
To be fair, Godbert didn't even tell her to do this.
He did. He's like, hey, you need to think about, like, you know, the taxpayers' money. You need a profit.
Yeah, but
I mean, to be fair, he didn't know where the money was
like
coming
his
from.
point was more like you can't just keep giving people money away. Like you need to like make it like a business transaction, so you both get something, so it's like a sustainable thing to move on.
No,
like,
but that would have been the case anyway. That's the problem. Is that what he says isn't applicable? Because her creating the industry to trade salt and not getting any profit off the top of that would be good enough. Because they gain value. Uldar gains value out of that because suddenly they have a trading partner. Mm-hmm. But now they're getting 30% on top of that.
Yeah,
right?
no, I agree. They should like.
Anyway.
I mean, I guess maybe they don't get the salt; they just get the profits.
No, but what I mean by getting salt is that the people of Uldar will benefit from having access to this salt that was previously not available to them. They're already getting value there. That is the value. The value is a new trading partner and new products as a result of that. Like that is the value that you gain. But you're asking for more than that. Like that should be enough, to be honest. Like that should just be enough of an incentive. Anyway. Because this is salt you would otherwise would not have, right? Because the idea is that because, you know, they're refugees and their land is war torn, like they wouldn't be able to create this industry anywhere near as quickly. They probably would eventually, like in like, you know, X amount of years, and we're going to be speeding up that process by investing. I speak to Nano.
I fear it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations. But I shall not complain. We have piqued Lolorito's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, Mielikka. I could not have done it without you.
Like, we're taking advantage of her own people because, again, this also goes back to what we said before. Like, the majority of the impoverished in Uldar are refugees, and you're saying, okay, we're gonna send them away and then we're gonna take their money. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, sending them away is also just a benefit to the... Like, I was trying to say this earlier. Like, the idea of alleviating the refugee crisis benefits the people That should
Yeah,
be good
I
enough.
honestly thought she's gonna offer this. That like, well, our benefit is that we don't have refugees everywhere.
Yes,
I was
like-
thinking she
like-
would say this actually.
For the entirety of Rome Reborn and Heaven's Ward, they keep hammering down the fact that like Ul'dah is the everything's worse in Ul'dah because there's a massive like economic like disparity because there are so many refugees. Like there are so many refugees to the point where there's like massive refugee like almost cities outside of Ul'dah's walls. So like the benefit would even just be getting rid of them. Would just be for them just going back home. Like that should be good enough. No? No, apparently not. I guess.
Clearly not.
Nah, we're just gonna take their money. We're gonna send you home and then you owe us 30% of what you earn. It's like, okay, what? Anna was ready to move ahead with her plans.
Our curse is decided. I shall return.
We're taxing them to send them home. That's what's happening. That's unironically that's what's happening. We're gonna tax them. Hey, you pay us and we'll send you home, refugee.
I mean, they will get a
That's
job
happening
though.
right now.
They will get a job though, which they
No,
otherwise
yeah,
wouldn't.
yeah. That's what I mean. They're gonna get a job, but they're gonna give us money. They're gonna pay us 30% of their salary. You're welcome.
Wait, is that how salary works?
Well, we're earning 30% of what they're earning. So what they are earning,
What the company is
industry is earning.
Yeah.
Yes, what the industry is earning, which means they have that much less money that they're making, which means that they have that much less to give their own people, right? So they're not going to see that money anyway, so they don't know it. But like, yeah, they just lose. Yeah, they're just losing out on that. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I wouldn't mind it in any other position, but it's just crazy because these are refugees. Like they just a war just happened. They can't, like, we're emphasizing that they can't necessarily sustain themselves. That they're like a poor people. They're on hard times. But no empathy, I guess. Sure.
Our curse is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, Mielikka, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hext on your return to Alamigo. My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Alamigo and Ul'dah both. Also, I keep forgetting that she's called Hext. They like never mention her name. No.
You know what, Goppa? You know what? I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if you. Did you see what the title is for my stream?
No.
Just
What
have a
is it?
look. Just read the title for my stream. It's meant to be a
MSQ
joke. by the
can't
way.
get any worse, right? Remember what I told you last time you said that?
I didn't think it could get any worse. That was meant to be like a joke. I was like, it'll get better from here. I actually think this is just bad. What's happening? Like, this is just. It
So
isn't. I don't know if
why-
I'd say it's bad writing. It's just a bad story that's being told. Like, it's just wrong. It's crazy.
We're going back to Liz, by the way.
Okay. Okay.
That's who hexed this list.
Okay. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's why I said that, like, they
Sorry.
never mention her name, so it's very weird to hear it in dialogue.
Huh. Animal. Welcome back, Light. How was your audience with the Sultana? Like, I just feel bad. Like, I feel like we're just fucking these people. We're just fucking them over. What? It's a good thing we didn't get Roban's help. We didn't need it.
Nah, we
didn't need it. It's
know about
fine.
this. It's
We didn't
fine.
need it. We
I
didn't
mean,
need it.
Well,
Yeah.
would be okay with talking to Lorito. It's fine. I'm sure he
Yeah.
wouldn't literally take
He doesn't
him in
miss his
his
arm.
hands and
His hand, remember?
True,
Remember they
true,
took his
true,
arm?
his hand.
They literally chopped off his arm.
But I feel like, considering how Rauban feels about Sultana, I feel like he would literally kill Lorito on the spot. Like, Lorito would not leave those halls. To be fair, he wasn't that the plot of Heaven's Door where Rauban was about to kill him?
He was, yeah.
I think that was literally the scene. He was about to kill him, but then he didn't.
I feel. In your absence, I have kept myself busy cataloging the riches of the Mad King's trove, calculating its worth in gil. I have some way to go, but the figure is already quite staggering. Whiskar. Oh, greetings, Light. I'm actually in the middle of reporting to Commander here, so... Okay. Yes.
Mielikka, you're back. What did Nana... Oh, sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana?
He just said it anyway.
So Rauban says he's going to return to Ul'dah, but she isn't sure he wants to. Tell us something we don't know. But I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home.
And this plan to revitalize the Sultry does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lorito's help is another question. After all that has happened, he is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice.
Exactly,
Yeah, true.
Alpino, right? Isn't it insane how we would turn to Lorito of Lipu? I agree, Alfie. What is wrong with us?
But on a more practical note, Liz, assuming the interim government elects to keep Uldah's proposal, I have one caveat I should like you to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investments. We have a fortune at our disposal, after all, and allowing Ul'dah to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lorito too much control.
Honestly, Alfino, it's like Kugane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? Not stab him? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though, we need to discuss this proposal with the Sultary's residents.
Well,
No, we're
So
reading
what-
this
no.
dialogue. Like, I bit my tongue, we're reading this dialogue.
Okay.
Whisker, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what thinks. What thinks, of the idea before agreeing to anything.
Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Light? I might need you to fill in the details. Then I shall come as well. Should one wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. Go on.
No, say what you.
Go on. Go
No, I
on.
have nothing to say.
Go
I
on.
have nothing more to say. It's
Go on.
it's literally insane. It's literally insane what we're doing. Why would we
No,
talk to Lorito ever? It's insane.
No, it's no. So
I know you have different
What?
comment, but that's my stance here. That talking to Lorito about anything is insane.
what Alfino said doesn't make any sense. He said that that Alamigo should pay a portion of the upfront cost to get the industry underway, so that Lolito has less power and less control over the site and over the industry and over what's happening. Now that doesn't make any sense. It feels like whoever wrote that didn't or wasn't aware of the story that was happening, that was taking place, of what the hell was happening in Final Fantasy XIV, Stormblood, because Lolito isn't paying for anything. Sultana is, with money that she took from Telegia de Legi and from Lolito. He has no, remember, advice was gotten from him for what to do, but zero of his money is being involved in any way, shape, or form. It is 100% Sultana. Not even Ul'dah, because as we try to emphasize, it was money that was taken and acquired from the holdings of Lorito and the holdings from Telegia de Legi. It's not like taxpayers' money. It's not like money from the people or anything like that. It's specifically money that was taken basically just because of the attempted assassination, right? Like that was taken from these people. It is specifically
It was a
the
fine.
Sultana's money that she can do whatever she wants to do with, which is why it was confusing that she hadn't spent the money already. But apparently it was just there, and that's what she's using it on. So, yes, Lolorito, he was asked to advise on what was happening, and because of that, they got to this weird deal where they're gonna earn extra money, and of course, the trading itself is gonna be favoring Lolorito because that's where he's gonna be earning money because now he has a trading partner. But the industry itself and that money has nothing to do with Lolorito. So that's why I'm saying that line made zero sense.
It's set up by
That line made zero sense, and it sounds like it was written by someone who doesn't know what's happening in the story, because that's not what's happened. The money has nothing to do with Lolorito at all.
But I think no, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
It has nothing
I was
to do
gonna
with
say
it.
it sounds like Lolorito will be overseeing the operations, but you are right. He is not investing his own capital.
Yeah, exactly. He isn't. So whoever wrote that line just doesn't know what's happening in the story.
It's not that
Or
they
they were told
convinced.
something different.
Yeah, it's not that they convinced Lolorito to invest in this. They told Lolorito
Yeah.
that Ul'dah wants to invest in this, and what is his expertise on it?
That tells me, most likely, and this is a meta rationale, is most likely within the writers of Square at the time, they probably hadn't ironed out exactly what was going to be happening with the money, and at one point they might have had maybe the initial plan was that the reasoning why now it makes more sense why they animated and why they created the scene where they approached Lolorito, because honestly, again, I need to emphasize, it doesn't make any sense that we went to him for advice. It makes zero sense that we went to him for advice. So I would imagine that originally in the script, in the story of this patch, you didn't go to him for advice. You went to him for money. That makes more sense. That makes more sense if in the writing instead it's the Sultana. I guess she already burned the money previously, she already spent it, and she wants to help the refugees, but Ul'dah itself doesn't really have the capital to actually help them in a meaningful way. So she goes to the richest person in Ul'dah, which is Lolorito, and then she goes to him for money, and then he agrees on this deal. That makes more sense. If he agrees that okay, I'm gonna be spending the capital on making this, that's why there's such a steep profit margin, is because he wants to get his money back as well, and then they agree on that, and that was the original plan. That makes more sense why they would animate and why they would create that cutscene with them meeting with Lolorito instead of going for the advice thing. But then later on, story-wise, they decided to change it. They decided to change it away from that, and maybe they didn't like the idea of Lolorito having that much control, or they wanted it to be a little bit more self-sustaining or more independent. So they changed it writing-wise there, but they didn't change it here. And this was written with the previous narrative that was being that they had agreed on. Like, I almost guarantee that's what happened. Because, again, like, it makes no sense to go to Lorito just for advice on how to spend money. I would imagine that they animated that because they were asking for money, and then they just changed the speech bubbles. Like, they just rewrote that. They rewrote it to, like, oh, like, we don't want to... We've changed our minds. We don't want to ask him for money anymore. But we already animated all this stuff, so let's use this and let's say we go for him for advice instead. Like, that makes sense in my mind, that they would do that. And then they just forgot to change this text here.
Oh, I was muted again. I said that I think that I feel like that's sounds like makes sense in what happened, but the whole idea is still insane regardless.
Yeah. But it makes sense, right? In the sense that like they would that narratively they would animate and they would create that cutscene with the idea of not going to Lorito for advice, but like kind of begrudgingly going to him asking for money.
Because of how
Right.
rich he is.
Yeah, because of how rich he is and because of how little money the Sultana has on her own. Obviously, they decided to like retcon that and change that, which now it makes sense, like why I was so surprised that she hadn't spent the money that they got in Heaven's Ward. I was like, what? That's why I brought it up before. I was like, it doesn't make any sense that they will still have that money, but they just wrote it that she didn't spend it. They made that decision later, where it's like, you know what? We have decided as a writing team we now don't want them to go to Lorito to ask for money. Let's say that she still has the money that she got previously in Heaven's Word, and they decided that after the fact. So yeah, that's crazy. Like I guarantee that's what happened. It's just a change in writing, and they just left this line here for Alfino, for Alfie. What do you think, Copa?
I am still in shock that they made us do this. Like, because again, this is personal, and it just feels like putting words in my mouth. Like, this is worse than like having a weird dialogue in like a cutscene. This is like straight up, this is like the opposite of what my character would do. I am just in shock that this is happening. And they continue like, wow, you really did convince them to do this. I'm like, what? Why? Why would I ever do this? That's why.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, do you prefer this than the other one? What makes more
What's the
sense
other
for
one?
you? As in, instead of us going to Lorito for advice, us going to him for money.
No, neither. Both of those are insane. I prefer going for advice, to be honest. I prefer going to Lorito for advice, just because that should give him less power, even though apparently Alfino says otherwise. But I just think going to Lorito regardless is insane, and I don't know why it's here. Like, that's my entire problem with it. That, like, why, yeah. Like, the character of Lorito should not appear in this context. Or if he should, it should not be our choice. It should not be like, oh, like, let's go with this guy. Like, this is the last person we want to have any relation with.
Yeah.
Like, the only worst thing we could do is, I don't know, trade with the Emperor. Like, might as well just go straight there. Like, this is literally our enemy. And Liz also pissed me off. Liz is like, oh, what does a poor trader have to do to win your trust? Are you insane? Did you not believe the events that we did? If I remember correctly, Liz was also escaping Ulda when all of this happened. Back then when she called herself Ida. Like the writing on this is just insane. Like, it's not like the guy, like, scammed us. Like, if it was like, oh, he, like, scammed us on a bunch of money, then whatever. He literally, like, endangered the life of us and of all people close to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think we're done for today.
Do you think this is as much as we can take?
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. No, yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. I think this is actually just bad writing. I think it's just everything here. Everything about this episode today. It's crazy.
You know what's funny? I was before we started this, when we were talking about Fordola, and you were speaking about how I was thinking about, like, is there any example in Final Fantasy XIV of a character who's originally a villain but then becomes a friend? Like, is there...
I mean, Lady Iceheart, right? Yeah.
Issei, yeah, I guess Issei. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, she was never like our enemy, is what I mean.
Nah, she tried
No,
to
she
kill
was.
us.
True, she was our enemy at some point.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. She was a terrorist.
I guess Issei would be the one because
Yeah.
like, but like, in general, like it's rare for like the villains to become our friends in some capacity or like compatriots. And I just find it very ironic that I thought about that, and then they're like, no, Lorito is a good guy. Like, yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Also, we never addressed who's going to step in for the Sultana to
No
help
one.
her, like run the nation.
No one,
Remember how we spoke
apparently.
about how it was important that this quest line answers that question so that like we have some confidence in her ability to be on her own and to lead the people.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and you know what they could have done very easily is that they could have just had Godbert step up. You know what, he said nothing of value, and I would say that they made the character worse in this quest line. But you know what they could have done? They could have had him, like, I like the idea of her going
Advise
to
her
him
on
for like
finances.
advice. Yeah, for her going to him for advice, and then him like being serious for like the first time ever, because he's never serious.
Yeah.
And actually giving some good advice and
Yeah.
even offering to like be there for her if she ever needs help, because he is also one of the richest people in Ul'dah.
Yeah, he is a
and
businessman in
Should
the
be the
end.
most, but yeah. And like offering like his services and maybe even playing like a bigger role in actually, you know, in Ul'dah. They could have done that. They didn't.
That would be the better
could've.
way.
Yeah.
But instead, they went with Lorito. And guess what? Lorito is now the advisor of the Sultana, clearly.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense. I just can't comprehend how someone came up with that. Like, genuinely, I'm just... What?
Yeah.
Like, did they play True Realm Reborn?
Don't know.
Like, genuinely, I'm just like, what?
Hello, Sokka. I went singing for a while. I missed everything. You missed literally the worst writing of the expansion? I don't know if
Of the game.
maybe.
I wouldn't
No,
even
yeah,
say
I
expansion
think-
of the game. That was the yeah.
Sokka, I think this is the lowest point of Stormblood. I think this is
We found another
because-
one.
I think
We put
I
it
think this
bedrock
is-
and we're still digging.
I come, yeah. I'm a little bit in shock again. There's 2 episodes in a row. It's crazy. There was a lot wrong with the Stormblood MSQ, but a lot of it was like mainly missed opportunities.
Yes, yes. Like there
mainly
were some
missed
good
opportunities,
ideas
but-
there, but like they didn't commit to it. Instead, went with some solutions that were not good.
Yeah. It was still bad. Like
Yeah,
Stormblood,
but-
like it,
But I feel
it
like
was
I
yeah.
feel like our problems with Stormblood were more like character related, where like the characters were not where they should be and stuff like that. It was more like the characters and less the events in general.
Yeah. Kind of.
Kind of. It was a
But
bit
like
of both.
here it was this quest line was different. This quest line was it was our character's actions, but also it was like the lore of the world and the direction of like greater city states. I don't know. There was just a lot that was just wrong here.
Yeah, as I said again, like
Yeah.
it's not a good look in a story if I feel like words are being put in my mouth that I would never say.
Not even just well, like you have the issue when it comes to what's happening with Lorito. I have an issue with just like with us taking advantage of the Alamigan people. Like I feel like that's just what's happening here. It's crazy. Like I just don't. Without any good reasoning for it, without any good rationale, as we explained, like those with where the money's coming from, with with where the money's coming from, like it shouldn't be an issue. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Salko, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, what is
I love
happening
Sokka.
is crazy. We cannot comprehend
love-
the events.
You have a lovely umbrella, Salko.
I do. It's very colorful.
Only way's up, hopefully. Then I mean, I thought there was only the only way was up after the last like stream. To be honest,
Uh-huh.
I thought that was it. Thought that was rough.
Yeah, I thought we were on a good trajectory, and then no.
No, it's just awful. Anyway, you know what, Salko, you're right. We made it through it. We made it past it. And I think we're just gonna abandon that part of the storyline now. Like yeah, we'll see.
Do you think that's just the end? I mean, we still have
I
to
think
go to the
so.
Saltery,
We do.
so it depends what happens there.
We still have to find out what happens with Roban. Like maybe he doesn't leave. Maybe he stays.
You know
in
what's the
Roban. I
best
don't know.
part? That we're doing all of this without talking to Rauban at all. Like he's
Yeah,
just
we
not
don't- yeah.
included in the events.
He's not. You know what? He's got pods to investigate.
Yeah,
Just to-
and everybody
just to-
apparently everybody knows about him better than him. Apparently.
Kuro, he needs to measure the etherical
True.
contents of the capsules. You know, he's in there. He's got his little tape measure. He's measuring the ether.
Yeah.
He's got some important work to do.
He's measuring it in millimeters.
Yeah, he is. He
and
is.
Celsius.
Even though they don't use that, they don't
yeah,
use that
Yeah.
measurement unit at all here.
Yeah.
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 We get there. He's got work to do.
He's helpful. You know, these boxes are pretty heavy.
I've no trouble with anything you've said so far, so it's interesting to hear and see the points. I mean, again, like I think I feel bad this stream. Like we're literally just taking advantage of a war-torn country. It's crazy. Like I can't.
See, I think I have less problem with that just because it's.
I know.
It sounds
I have
more
more of a problem with
realistic
that.
because it sounds more realistic. Like people would.
No, it
do
doesn't
that.
though. It doesn't. It doesn't sound realistic because of where the money's coming from.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
But as you
it makes
said,
no sense.
like that wasn't mentioned until the very end for some reason.
Yeah.
There was just an information that was not there.
Which makes it feel like it just wasn't there before. As in they didn't know. The writer didn't know at the time of writing it initially where the money was even. Where it was coming from. He didn't know. He thought the people were being taxed. Yeah, that's probably what happens. Brad just didn't know. Just didn't know what was being written.
They're like sitting next to each other in the desk, you know, like
Yeah,
with the separators between them. They're just like writing their
Yes,
own
yes.
dialogue.
It's just like when you're playing at a LAN, when you're playing next to each other.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah.
put the divider in between the computers, so the writers they can't see what they're doing. They just don't know. They just don't know. How can you blame them?
Yeah, it's just it's just the job, part of the job, just write a
Fun
dialogue.
fact. Yeah. Fun fact: Square Enix. It was actually in Shadowbringers where they decided to take away the dividers. Yeah,
I mean, like, you
that
know
was-
what?
that was-
They really don't work with the setup, with the layout of our office.
Yeah.
And they just, like,
It was
remodeled it.
revolutionary. They just took away the dividers. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Anyway.
I will never be not baffled how we went from Heavensward to this.
It's fine. It's fine.
Just how?
It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, with that, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much. We should be back in a couple of days. I think on Friday. I think Friday we are scheduled to play some more Final Fantasy. Hopefully things line up.
Thank you for your pretzel, Soko.
Yeah.
I got some.
We might play a little bit more. I think yeah. Kara, I think we're gonna play some more Final Fantasy.
Are we speeding through this?
You know why? Yes. we need to get through this. We need to wrap it up. We need to wrap it up, Koopa. Okay, we're done. We're just
Oh no.
gonna ramp it up to like 3 or 4 streams a week. Okay.
Oh god.
We gotta get through this.
So I take it no Eureka until we finish this.
No. Rika's on hold.
I
We
like
don't get to celebrate until we're done.
Soko is saying you're like 3 or 4 of the patch if you're in. There you go. See, it's only a little bit.
Yeah, we're almost done with the patch. We got like 5 more. 4 more. Anyway.
Ay.
That's fine. But yeah. If you're interested, Salko, if you're interested in hearing our thoughts on what was happening in the quest line, and the nonsense that happened today, and the craziness that unfolded, then check out the VOD. Check out the VOD.
Yes, the VODs are available on both Twitch and YouTube.
Yes, they are available. They're going to be permanently available on YouTube, of course. On Twitch, they'll eventually be deleted. Yeah, it's not a feel good episode today. It's not good. But you know what? Next time we will be able to progress the plot, find out what's happening, and
we
enjoy
will
ourselves.
find out that everyone got smarter from the previous quest to the next one, and everything will be fixed.
No, we'll find out that they just become good people. Right now, I don't think the Sultana's a good person. I'll be honest. I don't think she's.
I think she just
Ma-
doesn't
you may-
know
maybe
what
you
she
could-
is.
Sure, you could say she's just stupid. you can
I
say
wouldn't
she
say
is.
stupid.
She is.
She doesn't know what she's doing. I feel
True,
like
she just
doesn't
doesn't. She just doesn't know what she's fucking doing. She just doesn't know what the fuck's going on. She just doesn't know. Doesn't know. Fine, you can say that. You can say that. She left her brain with Raban. It's in his elbow. That's why she's at her best when she's on his elbow. She has their brain there. There you go. Makes sense. Makes sense. Jesus.
No, but seriously, like he probably talks with her about things.
Do you think it's
She has
like an
someone to
altitude thing?
bounce- Huh?
Do you think how like some people get lightheaded when they're like
She
when they
gets her brain back when she's lifted? is what
Yes,
you're
yes,
saying?
she needs to be like up high somewhere, like in an
Shake
elevated
my head.
position. Then she can like activate the brain, and the neurons can fire. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe she just hates her people.
It's
Maybe she
okay
just hates the people of Uldar. I don't. Maybe.
Soka is saying that now he recognizes why people say that there's a lot of politics in Stormblood. Again, politics is only half of it, because still, Lolorito was part of the whole thing that ended up with us being hunted and Alfino being stabbed. So it's only partially politics. Like, it's also personal.
It's personal. It's politics. It's just bad people. It's just bad people as well. I don't know. Why do they make Godbert say that that he wasn't okay with just helping those that are misfortuned? It just goes against everything that is Godbert.
Yeah, Goodberry always was
He
like
literally gives
helping
away
you.
free money. He literally gives away free money.
He also
But no,
he also does
he
the
said
whole
no to the Alamegan
yeah, but he
people.
also does the whole like Saint of Nemea thing for Starlight. Like he literally like
Yeah.
dresses up as Santa and just gives people stuff.
I think the writers just didn't know. Maybe this they wrote before Christmas. Maybe they wrote it
Wrote
before.
it before Christmas. So.
They wrote it before Christmas. They didn't experience Christmas. They didn't experience the Saint of Nemea.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
True, I don't
Maybe-
trust that
maybe-
Godbert he had pants on. That is true. That was a
True.
fake Godbert, he had pants on.
Do you think that the people that wrote this expansion, they only just got on and they just didn't experience Christmas. And after Christmas, bam, Shadowbringers.
Uh-huh.
Then they found out. There you go.
No, I like Soko's idea better. That this wasn't real Godbert, he didn't have pants on. I mean, he had pants on. Like, the true Godbert would show up in boxers. That is true.
Well, that's what I mean. Like the people that wrote this story, they didn't know that he doesn't wear pants.
Yeah.
They just didn't know.
Didn't know.
The dividers were up. How could they know?
Anyway, if you want more about Final Fantasy Adventures, then make sure to join us on Discord.
Yeah.
And we will be streaming more of this, because we need to finish.
Yeah. We'll get there. I might even just I'll be honest, I might even just say no to casting RSL just to play more Final Fantasy 14 just to get through this. I'm unironically thinking
Are you
about it. Even
serious?
if Gemini, even if he's like, you know what, hey, you can go stream RSL.
You're not serious,
I'm like,
are
nah,
you?
we gotta get through a bad story first. I gotta power through the Final Fantasy 14 MSQ. We gotta get through some bad writing, and then we can cast.
And Gemini's like, oh no, yeah, I understand.
God. Okay. We'll see what happens over the weekend.
Oh
Jesus.
no.
Anyway, overall, we enjoy Final Fantasy, and it's a great story. Just not Stormblood.
Yeah, Stormblood
And we'll get to it
specifically
eventually.
seems to be a low point so far, so...
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
see.
yeah. Like Realm Reborn is great. Heaven's Ward is great.
Yeah,
Shadowbringers
again,
is
we
meant to be
loved
great,
Heaven's Ward.
and
Heaven's Ward
Warp
was
is meant to be
great.
Heaven's Ward was a good story. It was, you know what?
Like, it had its weak points, but overall, it was a good
Good.
story.
Funnily enough, the weaker points in Heaven's Ward was the Oldar parts, going back to Oldar and all that stuff that was happening.
True,
some of
but
the weaker
I mean, even I think even in like the, I think we had some issues with like Herzberger and stuff, like some stuff there.
Mhm.
But yeah. Also something to look forward to still. We still haven't done the murder request.
Yes.
I feel like that
we'll
will be
get
the
there.
better story than the text.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get to the Mandeville quest line.
It's there. It's waiting.
Do you think they know that Godbert is not meant to wear pants? Do you think they know? Whoever wrote that?
Wow. Oh no. But I do find it hilarious that they show Godbert in the cutscene and I see him wearing pants. Like, hold on, something's not right. Like, it did seem really out of place.
Okay. But yeah, with that, thanks for watching. Gonna be heading off. We should be live in around 10-ish hours, 9 hours time with Pigaster Cup. Pigaster Cup is going to be tomorrow, so we're going to be covering that. In the evening, we have the Pondcast, so we shouldn't have any Final Fantasy tomorrow, but we should have some Final Fantasy on Friday at least. On Friday, and then potentially over the weekend as well. I was not joking. We
Wait.
might not cast RSL. We might have the option to co-stream, but you know what? We might just get through Final Fantasy instead.
Are you
We'll
really
see.
gonna say no to co-stream just to play Final Fantasy?
Maybe.
Oh
I don't
my
know.
god.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Look, we got to make progress, okay?
I mean, I understand, but... Also, for those who don't know, Tome stores are still on, so if you want to get your rewards, then make sure to check it out. And PvP season is also still on.
True. Still on for like 2 weeks ish. Thanks for watching. Thanks for showing you. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.